Total Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
Welcome to the dog pound.
Yeah.
I'm scared of these damn Pistons. I'm very concerned.
Screaming, cheer it. Yeah, I cry loud, cause I said it got now. We off the leash and we not coming in peace. This is Detroit when we step on the court. Be afraid when you see the motorcade, watch below. When you see us soaring, Jalen Duren. Pick your poison, all gonna war when Daniss assault. Be afraid. Yeah, I cry loud, cause you know we got now. We off the leash and we not coming in peace. This is Detroit when we step on the court. Be afraid when you see the motorcade, watch below. When you see us soaring, Jalen Duren. Pick your poison, all gonna war with them Highlander swords. Be afraid. It's the dog pound. Detroit basketball. Man, oh man, it has been way too long since I have done that, boss. Ooh, I felt good. I felt good. Got a chance to play the intro song, the winning song, all that. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Deuce and Boss Show, man. Hope you guys are having a great now Wednesday night after that game. Boss, how you feeling over there? You feeling good?
I feel good. Obviously, we won. We're going to get into it more about the whole breakdown, but I just have to say we won. Our season's still going.
Yep.
2 games out from closing out this series. We won a game. Cade out here doing impressive things. There's a lot of things I liked about this game. So, yes, I'm thrilled. It's just like you said, it's been a little bit too long since we got to celebrate a win. So, I feel great about that.
Yeah. Wasn't a perfect game. Right? Wasn't a perfect game. A lot of room for improvement, which we're going to get to for sure. But a W is a W. They all count the same. And as of right now, we were saying earlier, boss, like just get one. Just get one.
Right.
Like with a lot of time when you're shooting bad, you see a free throw go in, just get one to fall. Pistons got one. They got one. So now they can build off of this, right? So that's the most important thing. We see you guys in the chat. Shout out to everybody who showed up for the live watch party, man. Y'all were in deep in there for sure. And it was a great time, great conversation, great dialogue. And we came out with a dub. So that's the most important thing. So shout out to everybody who showed up, man, for sure. We have another watch party, at least one more. We're going to get a chance to do with you guys for sure, because the Pistons extended the series for sure. So guys, before you guys know the drill. If we miss your comment, a lot of comments coming in now. We miss your comment. Y'all know the drill, man. Repost, caps lock, super chat, whatever you guys want to do to get our attention, we will come to you. Before we get into this game, guys, we got to do our PSA as the month of April is winding down, boss. It's crazy how fast this month kind of went by.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. But you guys know we are doing another fundraiser for the month of April. This month, we partnered with Autism in the D, which is a nonprofit that focuses on autism acceptance and inclusion. And we're going to be donating all of our, or half our super chats, guys, this month to the Autism in the D Foundation. So as always, guys, we appreciate the support you guys have shown me on a personal level and everybody else out there that can really benefit from this. We're looking forward to, getting these funds over to them and it going to a good cause for sure. So thank you guys so much for all your support, man. It means a lot. It means a lot. Absolutely. All right, boss. On to tonight's game, man. Finally, guys.
Yes.
The Pistons, they looked recognizable again, guys. Another one down. We're throwing it back to the 2000s when the Pistons used to spray paint the number of the game they just erased that they need to get. Down to 14, still a long way to go. We're not looking too far ahead past this series, right? But it is another one under our belt that we got, and that's a good thing for this team for sure. If you guys missed the game, man, the Pistons, they got back on track in the series. They beat the Magic at home, 116-109. They pushed the series to a 6th game with the count now 3-2, heading back to Orlando, man. And this team looked like the team you've seen, for most of the year in spurts, which is a good thing. So as far as the injury report, guys, one of the guys that I wanted to see get more minutes in this series was Kevin Huerter. And unfortunately, he was out tonight with a left adductor strain, which is unfortunate. I really wanted to see him. I feel like he can be really impactful in the series. He didn't play. Also, Franz Wagner was missing tonight, boss, from this game as well for the Orlando Magic, and that was a big deal. That was a big deal for them. So
Yeah.
he has a right calf strain. You guys know how calf strains, how they can be, what it often can lead to with the Achilles. So that's a little scary for him. I was hoping they would be full strength because I want to beat this team full strength with no narratives of how we only won this series by default because they didn't have their whole team together, all that stuff. But you know, I don't know how it's going to play out with him because you know, we've seen guys with calf strains, you know, they were either hampered, hobbling, or they just were taken out of the series completely, right? We just saw DiVincenzo, Tyrese Halliburton, obviously, Jason Tatum, and going back further with KD. Like, those calf strains ain't nothing to play with. So as of right now, they just said he's not going to be available for this game. But I don't know how much he's going to be available or how effective he's going to be if it's anything serious for sure. So we'll see. We'll see, guys. And guys, as of right now, we have just launched the poll. And it's a little bit different because obviously we usually do the belt. Who gets the belt? Obviously, we know that's Cade because of the game that he had, the monster game that he had.
Record-setting game.
Record-setting game. Yeah, you can get to that later, boss, for sure. But the belt for the poll for tonight, guys, is what needs to improve most to win Game 6? Is it the turnovers? Is it the rotations? Is it the free throws? Or is it something else? So, few candidates, a lot of room for improvement, like we always talk about. But you guys go ahead and have at that, and we will check back that in a minute. The Pistons roll with their starting lineup, the usual lineup of Cade, Dunk, Ausar, Tobias, and JD. We're going to talk about that more later as well. We're going to get into that in depth for sure. So before we get into some initial thoughts, boss, I'm going to come to you. Before we do that, let's just listen in to what Coach had to say before the game started, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
We put ourselves in this position, and we're the only ones that are going to get ourselves out of it. I trust and believe in them 100% that tonight we're going to get all they got. We'll go out, we'll compete together. Their spirit's going to be right, and they don't want to go home again. I know what Paul and Ron have done for us throughout the season, but it does become, a numbers game. You just can't play 12 guys in the playoffs and expect guys to find a rhythm and find a way. But tonight, whatever's necessary, whoever's going to help us win is going to get an opportunity. So all those guys got to continue to be ready like they have been. And we have to make sure that we're playing at our best no matter who they put out on the floor. Obviously, there's some systematic things or coverages that may change or, things like that. But our focus right now is on, how do we go out tonight and put forth the best Pistons performance, 48 minutes to carry this series on and our season on.
This dude had 8 blocks in 17 minutes. Just because you feel the shift when he was in there, and then how can the team kind of feed off of that as well? I
thought he did a great job, protecting the rim, making it difficult on people, protecting his teammates. I thought we did a better job for the most part of not fouling guys that were driving because we knew guys were going to be back there to protect us. His energy was focused on the game. We know how elite his skill set is, and I thought he did a great job of just, anchoring our defense, communicating our defense, and protecting everybody out there.
What did you like from Levert?
I thought he did a great job executing coverages, guarding one-on-one, flying around for defensive rebounds, area obviously that we've been struggling with. So I thought he did a lot of little things and that impact us in a positive way.
So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys to kind of get a feel for how he was feeling about this game. Some adjustments that could have been made, just the mindset of the Pistons overall coming into this game, having urgency and things like that. Interesting stuff too about just the lineups and how you can't play everybody. So we're going to talk about lineups and stuff like that too as well. But boss, I'm going to kick it to you first. What did you see tonight in this game? Initial thoughts. What stood out to you in this game?
Oh man, guys. I mean,
I'm sorry. We got a bunch of super chats. We got
to
get to first.
The super chats.
We got to get to those first because y'all are showing love.
Fair enough.
And I'm coming right back to you. You already know what it is. Starting with Doug. What up, Doug? Doug says $4 for the wins we need. For the wins we need. I like it. Detroit basketball. Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to you too, man. I saw you in the live stream, bro. Hopefully we were able to give you the play-by-play enough for you to be able to enjoy it, man.
Yeah.
Because these different apps and stuff is crazy having to have 4 or 5 to watch.
I was keeping you in mind. I was trying to watch and then make sure I was keeping you up. So I'm sure it's not. We definitely aren't like a play-by-play, but hopefully we kept you engaged
with the scoreboard and everything. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate you, bro. GVH, what up, bro? April, a month to support autism awareness. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate your support for sure. If you got another comment, let me know or post it in. We're good to you for sure. What up, yo, Dom? Our guy Dom coming through per usual, boss. Says, not trying to be negative, but that was stressful. Go do it again on the road. Then anything can happen. Cade absolutely balled out. Would have liked fewer minutes and more offensive balance because that's hard to maintain. Yeah, this is definitely a thing they can't go to every game. Right? This was Cade's game of like, we're not going out like that, bro. We ain't going outside tonight.
Yeah.
I'm backpacking everybody if I have to and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it together. But I'm gonna lead you guys, and that's what he did, man. So it was good to see, and he got off too. Like he played well in this game. It was different than the first game,
Right.
First game. It was a lot different,
Yeah.
just as a whole, how he's played and how he was playing as far as the flow of his offense.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to that as well. But Dom, I agree, bro. It was stressful toward the end unnecessarily, man. And we're gonna get to that too as well, as far as who was playing, who wasn't. Just like, bro, why are we doing this right now? It doesn't have to be this way. But it is what it is. You're right. Go do it again on the road. Yeah, it's going to be even harder next game, right? It's going to be even harder next game. The Magic are not trying to come back here for a seventh game. So they're probably going to treat game 6 like game 7. That's going to be their game 7. So, yeah, I agree, bro. All good points, man. But hopefully Cade doesn't have to have his usage quite so high next game for us to try to get that dub. So appreciate you, bro, as always, man. My guy. Thanks, John.
Absolutely.
Mauser. What's up, Mauser? Says, thank you, Lord Cunningham. Cade Parker Cunningham. Yeah, he came through. He came through tonight, bro, for sure. Appreciate you, man. Guru says, Cade grew up. Pistons in 7. Yeah. You think he grew up? I just felt like he just kind of settled into this one. Like he just really was locked in. Yeah, he's been an MVP for us for a good part of the year. For most of the year, he's been balling. I wonder if the lung is still bothering him too, like you mentioned. Like if it's still something he's dealing with. He's just not talking about it because he doesn't make any excuses. But regardless, still got a dub. Pistons in 7, bro. You know what it is. Ryan, thank you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Ryan.
Thank you. You know, we hope you guys are enjoying these post games, man. We're trying to bring the energy, especially after losses, because it's easy after wins. We're trying to bring that to losses and still be realistic and talk each other off the ledge and be cathartic and therapeutic to each other. So hopefully you guys feel that way. So thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
Dom coming through. What's up, bro? Man,
wow.
Man, donation to the foundation. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much, man. If you got some more comments, bro, like you don't need to send nothing else. You can just let us know if you have anything else you want to say. But we really appreciate you, bro. You've been super duper. Y'all know the story with Dom, and he's been with me for a long time when I was just getting my feet wet with this. So he's always showing your boy love. So Dom, thank you, bro. Really, really appreciate you, man. All you guys. Appreciate all you guys, man. Hit us with some more comments. Okay, boss. Let's get to some initial thoughts finally. I'm going to come to you first. What you see in this game? What stood out?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the energy and effort was there from the start. I remember, I think in our live chat, someone was like, wait, I just need a little bit more urgency from them. But we weren't really, our urgency definitely comes from our transition. We didn't get a lot of transition opportunities early. So I just appreciate that we were still getting it done in the half court. That was a necessity if we're not going to get into our transition game. So we did very well there. I thought our defense was good. We stayed in front, even though they kind of hung around. It was kind of like last game where we kind of hung around them and never got over the hump. But I feel like we did a better job of staying in front. I was okay with the rotations early. I hated the rotations in the fourth. I hated the lineups. I didn't understand it. I thought it was very much more offensive than defensive, and that's not the approach we needed with a team like the Magic who can definitely shoot their way back into a game. So that was like my biggest pet peeve about this game. Otherwise, like, you know, the refs are on our side early, then they were on the Magic side. I forgot it was the second or the third where like they got into bonus before they even had a foul. I think it was the third. So it's pretty, you know, fairly
officiated on both sides. I feel like. That's true. It's been that way, I feel like, for most of the series too. Go ahead.
Yeah. And we started off slow with our free throws and eventually got into rhythm. But of course, when you are down or are up, you want to see you extend. But I overall I really wanted this game to be a decisive win because it would have made me feel better about the rest of the series. But I still, even though we had some slip ups, we let them go on some runs. Again, some of the rotations I'm just confused about late in the game. Even though there's that, we didn't let them get back into it. They never took the lead. We maintained. And again, like an incredible night from Cade, incredible night from Tobias, incredible night from Ausar. I mean, Cade's in a different level, but I mean, AT, what he was doing was nuts. Tobias continues to be steady. So, and I think I said this during the live. I think my biggest takeaway is, you know, obviously I'm thrilled about a win. Extremely happy. I wasn't ready to say goodbye to this team. It wouldn't sink in for me.
Enough. I agree. I wouldn't accept it.
No, exactly. It would not. And we stayed in it ugly. We got the lead in it early nicely and then kind of got the lead ugly. So the positives for me are that there are things that we just need to clean up a little bit. And I feel completely confident in us coming, you know, and taking this series away. I think an away game will be tough. We haven't won in Orlando yet. They won both their home games. And like you said, they're going to play like it's game 7. So, but with these minor adjustments, we already looked better in so many areas. So now with some of these minor adjustments, I think that we can just really just finish it out. And I just don't want, they got close. They got within 3 at one point, I believe, maybe 2 at the end. But, we kept a steady like 8 to 12 point lead throughout the game. And that to me just shows that it is 48 minutes of basketball. We let the pedal off the gas or the foot off the pedal a little bit in certain areas, but cleaned that up quickly. And I think these guys understand that we're still in it. And, it is an elimination game from here on out. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%. You got to treat it that way for sure. You have no room for error when it comes to that.
Yes.
Some quick comments I want to get to. I got another super chat here. Let's get to, where we at? Edwards. What's up, bro? Says Pistons from Brazil. I find it difficult for Cade to win 3 games alone on offense. Next lack of adjustments to the initial lineup makes me pessimistic. I understand that. I understand when you are. I actually agree with you a lot when it comes to that. We're going to talk about that for sure as I get into my initial thoughts and as we get into individual guys. But yeah, I think some adjustments has to be made for sure. I don't think this is sustainable for 3 more games to be able to say confidently we can win. They got to make some adjustments for sure. We talked about it during the game. We were about to lose our minds, boss, during the game, just watching. But yeah, we'll get to that for sure, bro. Appreciate you, man. Abraham says, please start and close without his. Stewart, feels like I'm losing my mind with this. I feel you, bro. Devon says, if Pistons win this series, y'all consider the playoffs a success. Yes, I do. For me, it's all about steps, right? I said beginning of the year, a second round exit would not be what I hoped for, but I would accept it because last year we only won 2 playoff games.
I just want to grow.
Right. So it's all about steps. Nobody goes from losing in the first round without winning at home to going to the finals the next year without making major changes to the roster. It doesn't happen. Yeah. So, we got to be realistic. So I think a series win would be, even though I think we can beat either team if we get to the next round, if for some reason we don't, I'd be a little bit disappointed, but still happy that we advance further. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
Last one in my Mr. Miyagi voice. You stay focused, Detroit Pistons. The best basketball is still within each of you. Now is the time to let it out. Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah. Boss, for me, I got a lot of thoughts.
Real quick, I just want to call this out because what up, Deuce and Boss just left LCA.
What up, buddy?
The joint was rocking, but couldn't help but feel like we should have been front running by at least 20 the entire game. Give them something to think about going into game 6. Yeah, absolutely agree. And thanks for being there at LCA. My TV was super turned down during the live, but there were times I heard chants. I saw everyone using their rally towels. Everyone was up. So that was just incredible to see, everyone show out for this team and, not give up on them. It was hard. It was a very pessimistic atmosphere coming into this game, which is totally valid. So it's nice to see the city show up for them.
I agree. First of all, leave it up.
Oh, sorry.
I want to shout out. This is my guy Zell. Shout out to my guy Zell, man. Coach of Detroit. Make sure you guys are following them on all platforms and make sure you guys are checking out their store. They got a store downtown. They got a couple stores out right now. They got a bunch of dope sports gear and all kind of other stuff. I see a lot of big names wearing them. I've seen Lindsey Hunter wearing a lot of their stuff and a lot of other players and celebs wearing their stuff. So shout out to you, bro. By the way, remember what I said about the 2 big lineup, bro? Remember what I was saying about that? We was talking about that late in this game. Could have used it, right? You feel me? So yeah, we'll get to that for sure, bro. I appreciate you, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, boss. So before we get into my thoughts, let's just get into some numbers like we always do to see if they reflected how the Pistons want to play. So first thing, points in the paint. The Pistons won that battle 48-36. That's great.
Yep.
Great. That's who you are. That's how you want to play. Fast break points, they won 19-14. 19 is their average, their league average. So that's good, right? Rebounding, they won 49-33, boss. 49-33 is huge.
Yes.
That's so once again, dominating that painted area and scoring in the paint, whether it's scoring, whether it's defending, or whether it's rebounding. Just great stuff there. Plus 16 on the boards is huge. Free throws, 28 for 35 for the Pistons.
80%.
80%, yes. And 16 for 30 for the Magic for 53%. So had they knocked down their free throws, this game could have unnecessarily been different.
Yes.
To their benefit, but they missed a lot of free throws, a lot of points on the board. They left. That's something the Pistons have struggled with at times this year. So to see us knock down most of ours, and that's a huge deal. Turnovers 17-16. We lost that battle. Still too many. Points out turnovers 19-22. They lost that battle. Assists 20-21. They lost that battle. Still close. Stocks, they lost that battle 14-17. So a lot of these are close, but the two that stood out were the point. It was the stuff in the paint, the paint points and the boards. Yeah, those were the difference in this game, despite a lot of the things that really should have had this game out of reach a long time ago, in my opinion. So that's the numbers. As far as my actual thoughts, the eye test, I thought they started this game out great. Like you mentioned, this game started great. The game started the way we want to see every game start, right? It's what we hope for all series really to see. And it's something I've been saying all year about the Pistons as far as what they want to do is out the gate, hit first, make them call the first timeout, set the tone early, right? Get out and run, turn defense into offense. Just let them know early in this game that you were looking to impose your will and make them uncomfortable all night. Like I'll be here all night. That's the approach you want to see for 48 minutes. So they didn't get 48, right? But they definitely started this game well. And that's what we love to see from our Pistons. I feel like more times than not, when we start that way, we win the game. Because it usually carries over. Because this series, they played from behind like 80% of the series. Yeah. They've been behind before tonight's game. I know. Like coming into tonight's game, right? So true. So, and they've been down prior to this game. Even the game we won by 15, game 2. We were still down early in that game. We haven't really started off well at all until tonight. And that was huge. So, they could have been better early, had some careless turnovers. They left some points on the board. We talk about the free throw shooting, right? They shot 80% overall to end the game, but they were 5 for 10 to start the game. They were like 40, 50% just to start, 4 for 10 to start the game. So after that point, would they go after that? If they shot 28 for 35 and they were 4 for 10 to start, then how'd they finish? That's something like that's like 90% almost, pretty much, which is insane. So that's they picked it up and they started knocking them down after a slow start there. Boss, 36 first quarter points is huge. For all the talk about how this team can't score, they need a second scorer, they don't have a second guy, they don't need it when they play the way they want to play. 36 points in the first quarter because they were getting stops, they were getting out and running. You don't need a secondary scorer to get out and run and score. Anybody can score in transition when you're getting stops, but you got to be able to get them. It's only when we're relegated to the half court, then we need a secondary scorer because we need somebody to just go get a bucket. But if we can keep the defense on their heels and get out and run with these athletes that we have, you don't need a secondary guy necessarily. At least not. And the Magic are a good team. They're a good defensive team. We still got 36 because we turned them over. We got stopped. So that's the most important thing there. So that was good to see. The only quarter this series, boss, where they scored more in the quarter than tonight was game 2 in the third quarter. That's the only quarter this series we've scored more in the quarter. We had 38 that quarter. So once again, what did we do in that quarter, boss? In that game, same thing we did in the first quarter. Same formula, guys. Same recipe. Stops, scores. Stops, scores. That's this team's identity. Period. So regardless of who they have on the roster, if they all commit to it, they can win that way. Yeah. Let me see. What else do I have here? So as well as they played in the first half, they didn't close it well at all. Right? They allowed the Magic to go on a 7-0 run to close the quarter. They were up 13, only up 6 at halftime. It was very underwhelming and disheartening to only be up 6 after playing a pretty good first half, right? So they got to close quarters better. And in the second half, they hit first. So they kind of carried that over from the end of the first half to the start of the second half, to the point where they were only down 2 at one point, right? Yeah. And I'm like, what is going on? And once again, boss, they started that third quarter going primarily through Paolo Banchero. And now we're going to get into what I was talking about earlier, guys, because they kept attacking that matchup over and over and over again. Because, once again, this is nothing to do with Tobias Harris, who he is and how he plays. Right. But when you see them continually going to a matchup, it's because they think they have an advantage. And they kept going to that match. They kept going to it. That's why Paolo was able to get to the line so much. That's why the game slowed down so much. Because we were either fouling, because he was just bullying his way to the rim against Tobias, or they were scoring. And we had to go in a half court. That is what happened for most of the third quarter. Which is another reason why I keep saying Isaiah Stewart, for me, needs to be in the starting group. Because he can guard Paolo. You're not going to see them hunting out Stu along with JD in the front court. Yeah. It's not going to happen. So he can help you get more stops, less foul calls, less scores, which means what? You're going the other way. So that was one of the things for me. It's like, that has to change, bro. Like, if you see them blatant, and it was crazy because he actually got hurt, Tobias.
Yeah.
It was limping. So aside from them continuously, winning that matchup, he was also hobbling and he still stayed in the game. So I'm like, bro, take him
Yeah.
out. Take him
True.
out, man. What are we doing? So that was my thing. It's like you gotta get bigger. You gotta match up with these guys. So even with Franz out, they still had two guys in the front court who were 6'10". Paolo, 6'10", Wendell Carter, 6'10". So you gotta go bigger. You have to. So that was kind of that's why I felt the game was close late, is because they cared, because Paolo got hot in that fourth quarter. But it was because in that third quarter he was able to get whatever he wanted because he had a smaller guy on him. So if you nip that in the bud early, he's not knocking down all those threes in the fourth quarter. He has no rhythm.
Yeah.
So that needs to change. That needs to change. The fourth quarter execution was tough for that same reason. They were forcing way too much action early in the shot clock in the fourth quarter when they didn't have numbers. We understand you want to push the ball, sure. But when it's a 104 and you're up 10 and it's 5 minutes to go, why are you rushing? Right? So if you got a lead, you got to burn the clock. I was telling you earlier, one thing my father always told me in that situation, he said, the clock is your friend. When you're up in the game late, the clock is your friend. You don't have to play against it. Take your time.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Take your time.
There were a couple, Ausar, Duncan, a couple late things. I was like, guys, just pull it back.
Yes. And the game was,
let them,
you're right. No, you're right. It was just way closer than it should have been, due to the lineups and the bad decision making. Go ahead.
Real quick, I just want to address some people that were just commenting on you saying that everyone's saying we need a second scorer. And, you don't disagree. We don't disagree that we need a second scorer. What we're saying is that we got to this position without one because of the game that we play, and that we can still win without one. So we're not saying, definitely not saying that we don't need a second scorer, for Cade, but we were able to get to the number one seed without one through a certain style of play.
Right.
So that's just more. I just want to reiterate that because I don't want people to misunderstand that. Like,
okay, I'm glad you brought that up.
You're against that. It's just more so being like, we've won without that already. We just got to get back to that kind of style, which is again the transition ball. Which again, but it's so funny because now we're about to talk about how late in the fourth, slow it down.
And it slowed all the way down in the fourth quarter, but it's because once again we couldn't get stops. I'm not saying we don't need more offense. I'm just saying we can still win despite not having a secondary scorer right now. And tonight once again proved it. Game 2 proved it. That's funny because I know people have been saying that, and I've been saying that too. But this team has been able to do it up to here, and we just hadn't seen it much. So just again getting off to that start early where we had a couple guys scoring and on the boards already was just huge too. So the game is going to slow down at times, but you're not trying to play in the half court as much as possible. You're trying to get out and run as much as possible, right?
Yes.
So even if you can't all the time, you still should look to try to do it. So that's all I'm saying. It's like we've gotten this far without having a secondary scorer. So we're winning games in the playoffs without a secondary scorer. And both times we won looked the same. It looked the same. So that's the point I'm making there. Stewart barely played in the fourth quarter, which was crazy to me. He came at the very end of the game when once again they kept attacking that matchup again with Tobias, and we were playing in the half court. The game slowed down. It was no flow. The offense was bad. It looked clunky. Guys trying to go 1-on-1. It's like if we get stops, we don't have to be here. But we kept allowing them to score. We just couldn't get stops. So that's the point I'm trying to make with that, guys. So we'll get to these guys individually in a second. But if the Pistons want to win this series, to me, the lineups have to change. I don't think the Pistons are going to win 3 total times with the same lineups that we've seen. I just think something needs to change there.
Yeah, and I agree with you. My thing is that especially after hearing what JB said pregame, it just sounds like Reed and Ron Holland are not going to be a part of the rotation. And as much as we want to see them, like I think that both of them would be, especially B-Ball Paul, would be very beneficial. I think the way that he plays and his pace would really, he matches up great against their bigs. Like he kind of dominate. But I think that right now they are like, the only way that they bring in Stu with Duren is if they see Stu as a 4. But right now they're only like tunnel visioning him as a 5 right now.
Yeah,
because I do agree, but I'm just thinking. I think that's just where he's coming from. But I hope after some of the discourse before this game, now we've won, even though we didn't see that adjustment, and we're seeing again. Someone mentioned it earlier. We saw it in the live show. Like Paolo Paolo was the third quarter offense.
Yeah.
They just got in his hands every time, and he just drove whoever was on him, and it was usually Tobias or Duncan, and you just need, that a bigger body there. So
whenever Stu was in the game, when Paolo was in the game, Paolo wasn't aggressive.
Oh yeah,
he was looking to move the ball.
Yeah.
I would love to see Paolo's number. Thank you, bro. Exactly. Shut the water off. Shut his water off. That they didn't do that in the third quarter or the fourth quarter. So that's the point. Stu on Paolo is the yes, for sure, Isabel. That is the move. So you guys see it. You're watching the same. You see the same thing we're seeing. That's it. That's the thing for me. It's like it has to start on that side of the basketball. It just makes the offense so much easier. So we'll leave that there, boss. Let's go to some individual box scores. Let me see. We had any super chats first. Let me see. Look, Edward says, I think Sasser is horrible. Ooh, but in theory, he's a ball handler. I would have tried him in the rotation again instead of Daniss Jenkins, who was delivering little. So I wouldn't do that. I know Daniss isn't having a good series. He's playing solid, but he's not having a good series. This is his first playoff series. He's not playing great. He's playing solid, but he's not. This is a bad matchup for him. They're a really big team. But once again, the Pistons have 2 point guards and 2 point guards only, right? Especially with Sasser not even having really played in recent memory. It's been a while since he's even played in a game. That's a lot to throw at him, to just say, hey, go out there and make plays for us against this team, this defense, and they will hunt that matchup out every time. He may score some buckets. It's going to be tougher because it's hard to get shots off. You see that with Daniss, and he's taller. He's bigger than Sass, and Daniss is struggling to make things happen, right? As a point guard, he's struggling. Sasser, first of all, is not a point guard, and he's smaller. So offensively, it's not going to be as easy for him to get his shot off as it has been all season long against other teams. And defensively, he would struggle more than anybody because he's just not big enough, guys. He's 6'2". All their guards are 6'4" and up and stocky, and that's without a switch. Right? Just guarding Bane, guarding Suggs without a switch, without a Paolo switch or whatever. Just those guys, his position alone will be tough. He's just not big enough or strong enough. And imagine him getting switched on the Paolo.
Yeah.
No. You see what I'm saying? So for as many points as you guys think he may be able to give, and he may be able to give some, I think the Pistons as a whole would give up a lot more because they would hunt that matchup out. We saw Tobias get hunted out on Paolo. Paolo's bigger and stronger, but it's not as noticeable as a Sasser would be on those guys. So defensively, which is who we are, it would be a lot tougher. And that's why I don't think he would play in the series. I like him as a player, but I think this is a terrible matchup for a guy like Marcus Sasser for sure. All right, guys, let's go to some box scores, boss. And let's start with Cade Cunningham in this game, guys. He balled out 45 points, boss.
Crazy.
45 points for Cade. 13 for 23 shooting, efficient. 5 for 8 from 3, efficient. Guys, 14 for 14 from the free throw line. That 80% that the Pistons had as a whole was pretty much half of it came from Cade.
Yeah.
14 for 14 from the line. That's called locking in. That's called locking in. Like he was locked in this game. At the line, it's all mental. So 14-14 is great. 4 boards, 5 assists. He did have 6 turnovers, which is still high. He's had 7, 8, 9, and now 6. So his turnover count is still high. That's something we still need him to work on for sure. But 1 steal in 43 minutes. So he played a hefty amount of minutes. Boss, what did you see tonight from Deuce in this game? What stood out?
Truly nothing but rhythm. I'm actually like 44 minutes is insane in a 48-minute basketball game. We saw him go out. I think I do think it's a little bit with his lungs because he was definitely tired at the end of the game. But we did see him go out a little bit earlier in quarters instead of playing like 8 minutes through. He only played, closer to 6 or 7. I'm not doing that. Minutes through. And and then he would come back in. I think maybe just those shorter breaks just really helped with his efficiency, but he just looked in rhythm. Again, he did score 39 points in the first game, but it looked out of sorts. It looked forced. Everything tonight, he played like a little bit of hero ball in the third or early fourth, I think it was, and where it was just kind of like, we don't need this from you. Like you can, but you can't get rid of it. You can't just set up a play, find your shot. But overall, everything he was getting was his shot. He was shooting great from the mid-range, great from 3. What was he? 5 of 8 from 3. That's amazing.
Yep.
He obviously made his free throws, which is huge. It's been something that's been tough for even him in this series, is making your free throws. Again, Paolo also finished with 45 points tonight. He went off from the 3-point line as well. But I guess he had 5, just as many as Cade did. Oh, that's 6. He had 6 of 11. But his free throws, he was 5 of 12. So that was a major difference for them.
Yeah,
just the fact that Cade was able to pull that out, and he just looked much more like himself. And again, pretty tired late. I know he's wearing that thing around him. They had to adjust at one point to protect his lungs, but this was his best game. Even if he scored 46 points in game 1, this was still his better game. He just looked much more in the zone, smooth. He definitely wasn't going to let this team go out. And, you can only hope. I think the reason that he has 5 assists is a little bit because when he was giving it up, he wasn't creating. Whoever was shooting wasn't, getting their shots down. But also, again, he did a great job of getting the ball back. He played a little bit off ball tonight. You'd see him give it away and then he'd get it back in his zone. He wouldn't, bring it up all the time. He was just doing well against the defenders on him. And I know, Franz Wagner, they were talking, he is good on Cade, but I think the best defenders on Cade this series have been Kane and Black, who were available. So yeah, Franz Wagner being out definitely, stunted the magic a little bit. But it's kind of like Anthony Edwards being out for the Wolves right now. He wasn't necessarily doing much in the series against the Nuggets, but you're still aware when he's not on the court and when he is on the court. And that's kind of how Franz is for me. He did have, of course, highlights in this series, but Cade still did a really good job against some tough defenders and made it hard on these guys, and just really just kept the pace. Great in the half court, pretty good in the transition as well when we had it. The turnovers, of course, a little rough. A couple fancy passes that didn't go through. One was a double team. He was trying to get it over. I think I think that we still need a little bit better from the rest of the guys. But in the post game, you heard Ausar talk about a little bit. He wanted to make sure he was open for Cade if Cade needs to get rid of it, which you saw some rotations there. But when he gets doubled, I think the Magic didn't double him as much this game, and I think they're probably going to go back to that in game 6. So you just got to be prepared for that. Make sure that everyone's open and ready and taking care of the ball on their end as well. But still, like you said, too many turnovers for my liking, but the least amount he's had this series. So.
Yeah. He looked like the all NBA player that he is tonight.
Oh yeah. Looked like a star.
He looked like a star, a superstar tonight. He started off slow. Slow in this game. Too early turnovers, like you mentioned, just telegraphing passes, just not really into a flow early. But, like you mentioned, you can tell that he wasn't going to let the Pistons lose at home in this fashion. He put the team on his back. And you mentioned Franz. I do think that Franz was a difference maker in this game, because one thing about Cade is he likes to be physical with you. If he's bigger than you, if he's going to take advantage, he's going to body you, he's going to put you in the post, he's going to drive and put his head down. That's true. I think even though guys like Kane and Black are good defenders, they're not as big and strong as him. Franz is, and Franz is actually bigger than Cade. So it's harder for Cade to be able to get downhill. He goes east and west more when Franz is guarding him, right? And it just wears on him over the course of a game. It's hard for him to get north and south against a big 6'10" guy who's pretty, pretty nimble for his size. So I do feel like the double team, for sure, to your point, is a huge thing. But I think even in single coverage, he still has an advantage. Whether it's Bane, whether it's Suggs, whether it's Black, whether it's Kane, he still has an advantage, and he can still be more aggressive offensively. So I think that was part of it. The Pistons took advantage of it. I like how they took advantage of it. They went to that early and often, and we haven't seen a ton of that. And we haven't seen Cade be able to routinely get to his spot in the mid range like he did tonight. It just hasn't been there for him, right? Because he's got big guys that are contesting on him. Franz is a difference maker on both sides. Offensively, we saw what he did a couple games back. He put them on his back and won that game for him with some tough shooting. But defensively, he's just as important. I don't think Cade gets 50 or close to it if Franz is playing in this game, because they can kind of guard straight up. I see what you're saying too, though, with as far as double team. It's interesting to see how long he's going to be out now. As far as Franz, even if he is back, I still think they're going to start doubling him more, like you were saying. So they got to be aware of that. But back to Cade, he was great. He was great in this game, and he made some clutch shots in that fourth quarter. He had one deep three in the fourth quarter, it's like, whoa, like, you can see, you can tell he was locked in for sure. And he put a dagger in them toward the end of the game. And they just couldn't stop him. Once again, the 1-on-1, 2 in a row. He just got whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
So he was great. Like, he was fantastic in this game. He does need to work on a few things though. Like his on-ball defense. Sometimes, guys, he got to work on that. Sometimes his controller in 2K dies and he kind of just get caught just standing around, falling asleep. Instead of he kind of gets caught ball watching or he's not paying attention to back doors and stuff like that. He's got to work on that, right? But this is not a night to be critical of Cade because he's the reason that we were able to pull this game out for sure. He's definitely player of the game. He's getting the belt for sure, no question about it. But I liked his pacing. It didn't feel as forced as it did before. Most of it came within the flow. He had a couple of heat checks in there, which I'm okay with because when you got it going, you got it going. But once again, he just did a really good job. He didn't have a ton of assists either. He was really just looking like, oh, y'all going, single coverage? Okay. Bet. Here I come, right? So that was the difference for me. He really was looking to be aggressive when they didn't double. He took that as disrespect and said, okay, watch this. And he put the team on his back and got almost a 50 ball. So shout out to Cade, man. Really good game. Go ahead.
When you say almost a 50 ball, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but guys, he set the Pistons record for most points in a playoff game. He passed Dave Bing and Isaiah Thomas. Right. Who I know Isaiah Thomas was in attendance tonight, but with 45 points, I mean, he broke a record tonight. He broke records, and that's exactly what you want. Again, like we want to see our team fight for this series, but I mean that, and you want to see him. I want to see him, go up a little bit more, finish out stronger, finish out quarters, ends of games stronger. But he stepped up to the point of breaking records, and so that's just huge. And I just, just fantastic to see from him. Like you said, almost 50 piece, and a lot of that, again, it's very efficiently done. A lot of it, making his free throws was huge, but just congratulations to Cade on that, and just very exciting that we get to witness that, because I mean I wasn't alive to witness Dave Bing or Isaiah Thomas do it, so now you get to see Cade Cunningham do it.
It's funny too, right? Some quick comments. The Bionic bass player says Cade was brilliant, surpassed Dave Bing's Pistons playoff scoring record. Brandon says, I wonder what Dave Bing thinks about Cade's performance tonight. Yeah, because Dave Bing a few years ago was saying he didn't think Cade is the number one, the lead guy on the championship team. That's the legend. So we ain't gonna get on him. He can feel what he feels.
He has his opinions, but he knows ball, so you can't.
He definitely knows ball for sure.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a little premature, considering the team that Cade had at that time.
it usually ends that way. Even my own opinions can be premature about people.
Yeah, for sure. But I bet you he was encouraged at the very least encouraged by what he saw from Cade in this game for sure. So I got a super chat in here, boss. I'm gonna get to from Alan.
Go.
Alan, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Alan.
Says I nearly gave Ausar the belt and I couldn't deny it, but I couldn't deny. Ausar was great too, bro. Yes. Yeah, he definitely was an unsung hero, if you want to call it that. But we're gonna get to him in full, bro. But Alan, more importantly, thank you, bro, for your donation, man. Appreciate your support. You've been a great supporter of our show with your comments, with your commentary, with your ball knowledge, all that. So, Alan, I appreciate you so much, brother. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate all you guys, man. Thanks, Alan. Okay, boss. That's all I got for Cade, I think. Yeah, that's all I got for Cade. Great game.
Real quick, too. I thought Isaiah had 46, 44. Him and Dave Bing were tied.
Yeah, based on the stat, I honestly didn't know that. So I thought it was, I saw both Dave Bing and Isaiah. Okay.
They were tied, 44, I think.
44, yeah, because Cade set the record. Yeah, so they're at 44.
Yeah, at 45, so.
Yep. Okay, cool. All right, bet. More to Cade had a day. Hey, both of my fathers are here. My father-in-law, Wayne, is in here. What's going on, Pop?
Look at that support.
My actual blood father's here for sure. So, yeah, man, y'all some ball knowers too, a little bit, especially you, Dad, a little bit. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Boss, let's go to Duncan Robinson in this game. Dunk tonight, guys. What did he finish with? Tonight, guys, Duncan Robinson finished with 12 points on 4 of 8 overall, 3 of 6 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, 3 boards, 1 assist, 1 turnover in 25 minutes, boss. What did you see tonight from Dunk?
Yeah, so he entered the half with 9. He had a big 3 in the fourth for us. And again, just like called upon. Efficiency was fantastic. I think, again, you guys look at this in 12 points, I want to see him closer to the 12, 15 point range, and I'm fine with this. And it's just even better when it's, again, 3 of 6, 4 of 8, just 50% overall. The one that he missed was the one that transition one late, or else he would have a little bit better efficiency overall. But So a couple mistakes. He was targeted a lot on defense, didn't come up with any stocks or anything like that. Couldn't stay in front of his guy a little bit. He had a rougher defensive night, but he only played 25 minutes. And I think, we did see him out there a lot. I would actually, he was important in the fourth. Again, he got 9 points in the first half. So the third quarter, I don't know how many minutes he had in the third, but we talked about it. If he's not even able to get the shot up, it's like, and you're getting run over on defense, like what exactly are you doing out there? And we didn't have Herter. I think that if Herter was here, Duncan's would be a little bit less. Caris to step in for him, but Caris, we saw him attempt a three, but he's not really like Herter and Duncan are like who you think of when you think of perimeter shooting on our team. Yeah. So, so 25 minutes, I'm actually not mad at, especially with that stat line. We've seen him play for over 30, like 31, him get 8 points, Yep. So very efficient. It's just, again, some of the, I don't know if he can be, I think he needs to be closer to 20 minutes if he is, not able to get as many shots up. And then just with the size thing again. So just again was switched on a lot by a couple people. Did pretty okay. Again, couldn't stay in front of some people, but did decent. But when he was on guys like Banchero, it was very difficult for him. Because then I think you saw in the third, you saw Banchero back them down. If he didn't have a shot, someone would come help Duncan or Tobias, and then he just shoot it out to Bane or Black or Kane, who could shoot the three or subs, so that was their plan in the third, and it worked for the most part. So again, I'm completely fine with his stat line, very happy with his efficiency. He didn't go 3 for 12 or 3 for 8. Like he went 3 for 6. Like that's very good. Yep. It's just like, it feels like he didn't even get if he got a shot up in the third, because he scored his last 3 in the fourth, had 9 points coming into the half, which means they didn't score in the third. And so that's when you're just like, what needs to be different here? And I didn't understand why he was in the game late when we were up by 10, 13 or whatever, 10, like 11 at one point. Like, I don't understand why he was in only because of that, because we know he can shoot threes, but what you're trying to do is prevent the magic from shooting threes. You're not trying to grow the score. You're just trying to make them not come back into it. So I didn't agree with him being in late. So that probably added another 4 minutes to his time. Otherwise, I would be completely happy with what I saw from him. But again, he did hit a 3 late in the fourth to help us. But you got to get someone else out there.
I agree. Yeah, some of the guys we had in there late in the game encouraged a half-court offense. You know what I'm saying? It weren't guys out there who were really defenders who can help us get stops and get out in transition. It was like this. I knew when I saw those guys, and I saw Dunk, and I saw Tobias in there, this is going to be a half-court finish, and I'm not happy about it. Right? And we saw it. Score, it was just back and forth. Either we just couldn't string possessions together. They were continuing to score buckets. We were just trying to trade in baskets. We were stuck in a half court because they scored on us. Like, I'm like, why are we doing this late in the game? We don't have to play this half court, offense every time down the court, So yeah, for me, like, aside from that though, like I like that he showed some grit and some fight in this game. You saw him, getting into the game. He got into it with Bane again. Bane was flopping. Duncan was yapping at him. He was talking to him.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Annoying. But I liked how Duncan was poking his nose in there in the paint, trying to get on the offensive glass. Had a lot of tap outs just to help clean up the miss, to finish the possession defensively. Stuff like that I like to see. Yeah.
I just want to, you brought that up. I just want to bring up the certain play towards the end there. Stu went up for one on, I think it was Stu and Goga, or maybe it was JD, and he was trying to reach back and didn't quite have it, but Duncan came from behind to tap it in so that he could grab it. So there are little things out there that I do want to call out and appreciate from him as well. And he's definitely playing with the passion too of not wanting to be done with this series.
Yeah, I agree. I like this comment real quick. Did y'all realize that Cade was off ball today in the Star Wars? Yeah, they did that because they were giving Cade single coverage. Yeah, so it's like, okay, let's give him the ball on the block. Let's get it to him on the elbows, and let's get it to him. He can make a move. That was a nice adjustment for sure. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, and we'll get to that too more when we get to a SAR stat line, because it's pretty obvious based even on his assists, turnovers, other things. It's clear that he was handling the ball a lot today as well. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, needing 45 from Cade is not great, but he can do it. We'll be all right. Anthony. Appreciate you for showing up, man. We get into as many comments as we can, guys. We get into as many as we can. We kind of like trying to multitask here, but we appreciate you guys for being here with us. But for me, once again, we talked about it. Like one thing, Eric Vincent, shout out to him, always says, as far as with your vets, they may not always make spectacular plays, but you just want them to make winning plays. Even if it's not a box score winning play, if it's not registering, just still making the right play, not making plays to hurt you. I don't want to see Duncan Robinson on the break when we're up 10, trying to score against 2 defenders, falling out of bounds layup. Like, once again, the clock is your friend, right? So, like we mentioned Ausar, but Dunk too. Like, I saw him on a break trying to score. I think it was over Jalen Suggs, and I think Black was there too.
Yeah.
Tough layup when we're up with 5-10 with 5 minutes to go. Okay, we want you to run, sure. But first of all, I don't want you with the ball in your hands. I don't want you trying to push a break, first of all, Duncan Robinson. Why are you pushing the break, bro? What are you doing? And it's a 1-on-2.
Yeah,
why are you trying to score that? Pull it back, bro.
3 minutes. Burn the clock.
So it was that was kind of one of those, brain fart decisions I think he made where it's like, I don't think he would normally do that, but he just kind of like, for some reason, checked out for a second. Had his Carlton moment where he just like tried to be a hero through the ball. But that was the only thing for me with Duncan is like, he is who he is.
Yeah.
He is who he is. It's not his fault. He's playing against certain guys. He's getting inserted by coach, right? So it's not his fault. But it's like when you're trying to win games with defense, when you're trying to close games with defense, to close games, we're not trying to outscore teams late in games. We're trying to get more stops than you late in games with our defense. That's how games are won in the playoffs. Defense wins championships, right? So to have him in late in the game, it's not his fault, but I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that at all.
He's gonna show effort, like he's gonna be there and stuff and everything. But again, like no matter how much effort it is, like these guys are running you over. So
yeah. I really wish Duncan would have came back out. Well, with the ball in that fast break. Exactly. Yeah. So so you guys get it. That's he tried. He always gives the effort, like you always say, boss. It's just.
And I will say, I don't know if you guys saw it too. I just read my notes when he hit that big 3 in the 4th. He got down low and like snuck behind defenders. It cracked me up.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but he did. He like bent over and was like, oops, and then he was open and got that 3. And I do want to say too, as someone we've seen Duncan struggle from the 3-point line, and every open 3 tonight he hit. The wide open 3s he hit. And that's
just he's not getting a ton of them. Yeah.
Right. And so, but it's nice to see that, in those moments he is, because, it's easy for guys, and he's a vet and he has been to the playoffs before and he has that experience, but it is easy for guys to, overthink an easy 3 like that one. So I just love the sneaking. I'll have to find the clip because it just cracked me up. Like he literally got down low to hide from these guys and ended up wide open, which the Magic are really good at rotations on defense. They get back on defense fast. You don't get a lot of open chances. So, yeah.
Dwayne says, boss, I thought you were born when Zeke scored 45 on one leg in 88. I'm just giving you a hard time. I know you ain't that old. Hey, I am. I am, bro. I was two whole years old. I don't remember that one. I remember being there with my pops. And
I was 5 years out.
Yeah, you weren't thought about yet, for sure. 313 says, do you realize K-Hep was off ball? Yeah, we got to that one. Let's see what else we got. As far as Dunk, he said, Royal said he felt he had to finish after that crazy behind the back Cade pass. Maybe that was what it was, because that was a nice pass from Cade, on time, on target. That was perfect. But still, bro, pull it out. Pull it out, bro. We don't need it. But I feel you. Court Chronicles says, I was in the building tonight. Shout out to the fans. They showed up and showed out. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you, bro, man. Yeah. Court Chronicles is doing his thing, guys. Make sure you follow my dog, Mike Campbell. Big Wood says he needs to be that Lou Will type player, no defense, but gives the team an offensive spark off the bench. Yeah, he ain't gonna be no Lou Will. I feel you in principle. Like Lou Will is probably the best 6-man ever. Him or Jamal Crawford, or at least top 5. You want to say Ginobili, Lou Will, Crawford. As far as Vinny Johnson, as far as like scorers off the bench, 6-man, he's one of the best ever. But I feel you as far as if you're not bringing it defensively or being impactful enough defensively, you got to make sure that you're giving us enough offensively. I always say, if the defense ain't there for Dunk, I got to see at least 15. Off really, really good shooting, off shooting efficiency, right? 5 for 9.
With 12. But I'm okay with 12. But I don't agree with him being in late. So it would have been if he wasn't in late. And again, like you said, that's not his call. That's coach's call. If he wasn't in late, it would have been more like 12 and 20, which I'm happy with, especially on 3 of 6. But instead they put him in when there should have been a defensive emphasis. I did not understand that lineup in the slightest. Yeah. But anyways.
I'm with you. No, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. 100%. Yeah. All right. We can do as many comments as we can, guys. Round will be impactful in game 7. Why can't they put Dunk and Kev in the same spots as Wu? We're gonna get to that too, bro, later. Once there was less time, he took out Duncan and yeah. And
Oh yeah, he did. With 2 minutes left, but still.
Yeah, it was way too late.
It was when they came back. They came back because there was no one stopping them.
Right. They weren't getting stops. Exactly. Defense and shot creation wins championships. Yep, 100%. But it starts with the defense, bro. Y'all get it, man. All right, boss. Let's go now to Ausar, Tasmanian, backbone of the defense, Thompson.
Crazy.
Boss. 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. No threes, 0-2 from the line. 15 rebounds.
Disgusting.
Oh my Lord, bro.
First of all, and I know
God.
he had a better game today, but 15 and JD hasn't even given us 10 yet.
Yeah. No, listen, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I totally agree with you.
It's just like other people.
Not one game. Yeah.
Yeah. Other people have compensated for the lack of our starting center's production. And thank God. Truly, thank God. But anyways.
100%.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right for sure. 15. I couldn't even get through the stat line. Like, that's crazy. 15 boards is insanity. We talked about Stu's otherworldly 8 blocks last game. Now we're talking about Ausar's 15 boards this game. Our 2 best defensive players. He also had, guys, 6 assists to go with that. He had 5 turnovers. Got to cut those down. And 2 blocks as well. And oh my gosh, are you kidding me?
I was gonna say
7 steals and bro.
Not 7 steals. You mean 7?
I'm sorry,
stocks?
7 stocks. 7 stocks. I can't even read this right. I'm like, are my eyes deceiving me? He had 15 rebounds and 7 stocks in this game.
He's everywhere,
bro. That is why I call him Tasmanian Thompson, guys, because he does everything. He's everywhere.
Yeah, Mr.
He's
everything.
everywhere. He's the backbone of that starting unit. That's it, because he can do everything. Grab 1 through, like, I'm getting ahead of myself, boss. I said I want to hear your thoughts. So what are your thoughts tonight on Ausar Thompson? Insane.
Obviously, player of the game is Cade, but close second is Ausar. And I feel like he keeps coming in close second in these series because of his production.
Crazy.
He's fixing it everywhere. Well, first, I just want to get to his offense because, again, he had a 17-point game a couple games ago when we dropped, but 6 points on 3 of 5. I'm not mad at the efficiency.
Yeah.
But one of those was a pull-up that was off the back. I don't remember another one, but didn't make his free throws. Still need a little bit, like, someone said, if we could just get him getting in double digits, like if we could get all of our guys in double digits starting lineup, I feel really confident because it also means to me that we're getting the offense that we want and need, which tells me that our defense is holding it down, which tells me that our starters in double digits is enough to get the job done, in my opinion.
Right.
So I just want to see, obviously, a little bit more offense from him if we can get it. But again, 3 of 5, I'm not going to be mad at. Again, just like Dunk, if it was 3 of 8, 3 of 9, I'd be a little bit more concerned about why he has the ball in his hand so much. But the rebounds and the stocks completely make up for it. I mean, 15, we saw him starring in, like, early, he had a huge board presence, was just on the boards, had like 3 rebounds right away. He had some putbacks because of those, that presence, tons of steals in the second. He started the fourth. The fourth was him driving to the basket. He brought the ball all the way up the court and drove it straight to the basket. That was confidence. Was confidence. That's just, again, Ausar has been playing. The biggest thing with him has been his decisiveness and hesitation at times this regular season. And this series, you just don't see it. He's just much more comfortable and confident in the decisions that he's making. Now, he did make the bad one, I think, late in the game of just not going one on 4 against the Magic and turning it over. It's like Ausar, just, again, it's late. Just like it happened right before Duncan's too. It's like, just pull the ball out. Yeah, don't forget Ausar was out with an injury for several minutes in the third quarter. I think Orlando cut the lead while he was out.
Yes, they did, Mike.
Thank God he was okay because, I mean, that's the last. We've been very, knock on glass, like knock on wood, like, healthy throughout the series. We've watched other teams suffer a little bit, but he was able to shake it off, did huge, and then just came in and immediately got steals. I remember 2 steals right away. Yeah. And then in the fourth too, when the Magic were trying to do a little comeback and a little run, he had a block on black. It was a side block. He just came in from the side. It was just a pull-up midi. I love that. That's like a Wemby block because you're not trying to block a midi from the side. Ausar is. Right. So it's just like he played so well. And like the 7 stocks is crazy as 2. And the turnovers, rough. He would have had one last if he didn't dribble it earlier. He had a couple, but again, he was the main ball handler. He got Cade off the ball a little bit, and that helped
Yeah, he
Cade.
did.
So it's a little bit of a like a little bit bittersweet kind of,
trade off.
Trade off. That's the word I'm looking for. Of just like, I don't want to see Ausar and Cade have these high turnovers, but they were both able to do what they were able to do tonight because of their roles.
Yeah.
So of course you don't want to see 5 turnovers or any, from someone from Ausar, but I think he just genuinely truly helped Cade by having him get off ball at times. And yeah, like I said, the stocks, the rebounds, just insanity. He was just so fun to watch. And even though some of his decisions were still a little bit questionable, he's making them. He's not hesitating on them.
Yeah.
Like even in game 1, was it game 1 or game 2 or one of the games, he like should have gone up for a layup and like pulled it out. And then I was like a couple mistakes. And I just feel like he's just really feeling himself and his groove. And he was the one that they interviewed in the post game on Prime and stuff. So just a huge presence for us constantly. And I would say, Cade and Tobias have been nothing but steady on offense for us. But Ausar has been our steadiest defender as well. Like you could put Stu in there, but like just when Ausar is on the court, he's just really doing incredible things and making it tough on them. I think his despite this stat line, I think he's just going to be heavily reliant on perimeter next game. I think that the Magic are going to shoot their threes. They always shoot more threes than us. A lot of them were hot tonight. So I'm really curious to see what they do, because someone mentioned in the live too that Ausar was kind of playing like a big out there, and you can see with the rebounds, and the blocks that he was. And you had mentioned him eventually getting bigger and playing a 4. It felt like he was playing a 4 position. So I'm really curious to see what he does next game, if they utilize him more in that middle as a floating defender, or if they do stick him on the perimeter with someone.
He's a great roamer. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could definitely see him not permanently guys playing the 4, but I see him as he gets bigger and stronger, being able to play at times, the 4, because he's so athletic. Like the ground he's able to cover. You talked about Wemby being able to cover so much ground because of just his sheer length and size. Ausar doesn't have those measurables, but because of how much ground he's able to cover, because of his athleticism and his vertical jump, he can cover not as much, but not too far away from what Wemby can cover, just because of just his athleticism.
Oh, truly.
It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree, Kevin. His non-shooting self, he's still able to make. And that's the same thing, Bob. We just saying about Duncan. Like, if you're not scoring, what are you giving us for Duncan? With Ausar, if you're not scoring, look down the rest of the box score, and you don't care about 6 points. He gave you so many points in other ways. Some quick comments here. You got to get my boy Tom in here. It says Detroit basketball.
Let's
go. The Pistons won again. Cade Cunningham's my daddy is crazy. Oh man, that's hilarious. Shout out to you, bro. Glad you made it back home safe. I got a Pistons playoff win for my birthday. I'm floating like a sock.
Let's go. Happy birthday
to happy birthday. Little Miss, that's for you. All right. For me, boss, like I liked how he just pushed the pace all game. Like he was looking to push. Everybody was. Cade was when it was there. Daniss was. He didn't play great, but he was looking to push when it was there. Ausar, same thing. He's becoming more reliable as a secondary ball handler when they need it. I'm not to a point where I'm like, yeah, he can definitely be that de facto number 2 secondary ball handler, but he's giving more confidence and more comfortability as I'm watching him. He's just getting more comfortable. He's getting more reps. He's getting used to doing it more, right? I'm not a fan of Desmond Bane. No. I am not a fan of Desmond Bane.
Oh, I forgot.
You could have hurt him. You could have hurt him.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that's part of the problem. I'm not a fan, bro. The way he stood up and did it quickly when it wasn't like Ausar was standing over him and looking down at him.
No.
Or like it wasn't like he walked over him the way LeBron walked over Draymond on purpose either. It wasn't that.
He was giving the ref attention.
He was looking, so that's a whole other point. I'm glad we got this dub, because I cannot stand Desmond Bane. He could have hurt that dude. I like how Ausar opened the fourth quarter he had a nice drive. And that's part, like he had a nice behind the back and then attacked the hoop with a nice layup. That was beautiful. Those are the glimpses you see of his raw talent. The 5 turnovers usually come from stuff like that at times where he's doing too much. He's out of his depth with his ball handling, and he's just kind of trying to do too much. You know what I mean? I got you, little miss, for sure. I feel like sometimes that's where a lot of his turnovers come from. It's like he sees the opportunity. He can do it sometimes, but he can't consistently handle like that yet. And so sometimes they're a little bit careless. But when he gets it, it looks beautiful. And it just shows you like, whoa, he's a blur. That was a beautiful move. Like, so it's just going to come with time.
Amen? There's like,
yeah, exactly. It kind of looked like him. It kind of looked like him the way he was. But the thing with Amen, he's been playing point guard even going back to when they were at ATE. He was the point guard, and Ausar was the wing. He was the one finishing plays while his brother was the one setting them up. His brother has more experience with the ball in his hand. So it's going to take more time for Ausar to get there, right? So, but he was great. He was everywhere. And early, he set the tone with just his rebounding. He was attacking that glass like nobody's business.
Someone said he had 9 in the first.
9 in the first quarter. 9 in the first quarter. Like, that's insane. That's insanity. That's not stuff. So when I see 6 points, I look at the impact elsewhere, and I'm like, I'm living with it, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm living with it.
Yeah.
And he's one of the few guys in the league I think you can say that about, where he gives you 6 points, but so much more elsewhere at the wing position. It's not too many guys in the league you can say that about, to where you're living with it because he's doing so much elsewhere.
11 of those were defensive. And we've been talking about the second chance opportunities that Orlando has had, and they've only had eight offensive rebounds this game. We doubled them up in offensive rebounds at 16, and then, of course, won the rebound battle overall. But 11 times he prevented a kick-out 3 to the Magic. They love second chance opportunities. So it's, again, like, putting stuff on, putting numbers on the board. He's making sure that he keeps the Magic away. Like, he keeps their shots off the board. So insanity. And I also want to point out real quick, he had 1 foul.
Wow. That's crazy.
For a guy who
they don't get no better than that.
On in the regular season for reaching, for stuff like that, he had 1 foul.
Yeah. I feel like he has as much impact defensively as Cade has offensively. As far as his responsibility, as far as his impact, as far as helping his teammates defensively, the way Cade helps his teammates offensively. I like that. I like AK-47, bro. Andre Karolinko from the Utah Jazz was a menace. Built similar to Ausar, not quite as athletic, because who is? But the thing about AK-47 is that he had a jump shot. He could knock down shots. I see a lot of Shawn Marion in Ausar, as far as just being able to now, Shawn Marion isn't the defender or even the athlete that Ausar is, which is crazy to say. Isn't it crazy to say that Shawn Marion isn't the athlete that Ausar is? Shawn Marion, that was his calling card, was his athleticism. With Phoenix, north and south, vertical, he was insane, but he didn't have a great jump shot. So I see a lot of that with Ausar as of right now. Go ahead.
That's getting lost in history a little bit. Shawn Marion was a name that I knew as I was growing up, and now I feel like he's not mentioned a lot because he wasn't necessarily a guy who was top 10 of anything. He was
like a borderline all-star for a couple years, like a snub a couple years.
Which is kind of what Ausar is.
Yeah, that's why. You see what I mean? Like, I see a lot of those same similarities. He had a crazy looking jump shot. It went in sometimes.
I love that. I love the uniqueness. You know me.
He had an unorthodox shot, but he can shoot the right. He had a better shot than Ausar right now, but he wasn't like a go-to guy. He was a slasher. So I see a lot of that with Ausar, as far as, and that's the thing, because Phoenix like to get out and run too. Even though, but they ran off makes. They would take the ball to the hoop and still run. So that's why, like a Marion, Ausar's able to thrive in transition, right? The same way. So for sure, that's what I see there. But yeah, Ausar was absolutely incredible. Insane. I want to see more of this from him. We ain't got to get 15 and 7 as far as 15 rebounds and 7 stocks, but the impact all over the court that he had just shows you how good he can be and how high his ceiling is, because he's still just figuring this out. He's still just figuring it out. The way he would score at the rim and then turn around and then bust a move real quick and try to get a steal like above the rim. For you guys who've seen that, score, I'm down the court. No, I'm not. Here I come for a steal in another layup. Like he's all over the place. He's all over the place. He's insane. So shout out to Ausar Thompson, man. He played an incredible game in this game, and that's why I see why you guys felt like he was a great candidate for the belt. He was incredible.
Again, pretty steady and consistent with that role this series, which is just huge.
Yeah,
it's just huge that and he picked it up in areas that we needed him to.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. 100%. Twins are coming along. Excellent athletes. Yeah, probably the 2 best athletes in the league right now, which is crazy.
Even LeBron praises them.
Oh yeah, he called them aliens, right?
Yeah.
This is a great point too, though. He's got to get better from the free throw line. We know that the shooting has to improve.
Yes,
you got to give us at least 1. You got to go at least 1 for 2. You can't go blank from the from the line. So just give us 1, right? One thing Eric always says: He wants to see his wing, all wing shooting at least 70%, non-negotiable, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we want to see from Ausar. Make him take advantage of them outside of just getting to the bonus. Make him pay for it in points by giving us at least one at the strike every time. So,
yeah.
All right, guys, we'll leave it there more. Or we'll leave it there for now, boss. Let's go now to this super chat we got from Captain Negro, man.
Your favorite.
He returns. What's up, Negro? For all my Rush Hour fans. I can see Ausar as a more athletic Ron Artest if he can develop a shot. Same thing Kevin Salutis was saying. I definitely agree. Ron Artest. Okay, some more athletic. That's scary because Ron Artest was a depoy. He won Defensive Player of the Year. The year the Pistons won the championship in 2004 was the year Ron Artest won the depoy, which is ironic, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like well, we'll get to that later. But yeah, I see that for sure. The way he's able to move his feet, because Ron Artest was a big guy, but he had amazing lateral quickness. He could stay in front of point guards. Like his defense was incredible, and he could also get in the paint and do some board work for you. Like he was just a very smart, strong, physical, athletic player. So if he approaches that, I could see him. I think he's already approaching Ron Artest defensively, if not already there. I think Ron was a little bit smarter with his fouling. When he was locked in and he wasn't like frustration fouling, he knew how to guard well without fouling. So if Ausar can continue to work on that tonight, one foul, like you mentioned. So it's like, I think he may already be approaching Ron Artest level defensively already, which is crazy to say.
He was depoy second place.
Right.
Wemby.
Right. Exactly. If it wasn't for the alien. Yeah, because if Wemby played in that age, Ron Artest wouldn't have no Defensive Player of the Year award. Oh, yeah. So that's a really good point you make. It's all about who you're playing against too and going against for sure. Yeah. So good point, boss. Good point. That's all I got for Ausar. Anything else on him?
Nope. Just love what you're doing, twin, as they say. It was funny. They asked him on the show. They were like, "Oh, you're gonna go watch your brother now?" He's like, "Oh, what time does that start?" And then they were like texting. He's like, "I did send him a text, but I'm not gonna share it."
That's hilarious, bro. Yeah, that's funny. Real quick, boss. Some more comments. Ausar, my favorite Piston besides Cade. Not mad at that.
Yeah.
Not mad at that. So dependable. Let's go to two more.
And young. So
Ron
young.
would have won it again. Artest would have won again if Malice at the Palace. Probably. Yeah. They would have given us trouble that year, bro. The Pacers, had that not happened, because they beat us by about 15 or 16 that game.
And then I was at the game.
83, I think the final score was. The same score from game 2 of this series. Go ahead.
Like 2 weeks later, it was one of my first games at the Palace. I was there. Everyone was suspended. Yeah. But because I'm from out of town, so we just, we came, it was a whole trip. So everyone was suspended, but I was there for the bomb threat. There was like a bomb threat, delayed the game 2 hours. And I looked up the score recently because I was like, I wonder how that game ended because I didn't remember. And they absolutely killed us.
Yeah. That was early in the season. Yeah. And they just gotten Steven Jackson, who they didn't have the previous year when they still pushed the 6 games in the conference finals. Adding Steven Jackson, who actually got a chance to meet and talk to him about that. He was like, man, if that didn't happen, we would have beat y'all. I'm like, man, I don't know. It would have been tough, but y'all definitely made a statement.
I couldn't stand Babyface either. Ugh.
Babyface?
Jermaine O'Neal.
Oh, Jay O'Neal, he could hoop. That's what I want to see JD become. I know that'll make a lot of Pistons fans happy, but he was a bucket too. So yeah, one more comment I wanted to get to, boss, and we can keep pushing. Okay. Chris says, do y'all think he's a better defender than Robin? Not yet.
If he's getting 15 boards a game, he's gonna put himself there.
He's close.
He's got time. He's got plenty of time.
Yes. The only thing reason I would say why is like pound for pound, maybe. He's maybe like, well, here's the thing. I always say part of defense is what? Rebounding. Nobody can rebound. Nobody in this team can rebound the way Dennis Rodman rebounded. Nobody.
Insane.
Nobody.
He was nuts, guys. Just go watch.
He could tell where the ball was going while it was in the air. He could tell how it was going to bounce before it even hit the rim. And he was positioning himself. Like he was saying there's times when he'd be on the other side of the rim, and after the game, the other opponents were like, bro, how'd you know it was going to be there? He said, I watched it. Yeah. Like he just had an uncanny ability to be able to see off the trajectory of the shot where it's going to land. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I think not yet, but only because I got to see more. That's it. That's literally it. That's the only reason. Aside from that, I think he's right there, and that's scary. Like him 3, 4, 5 years from now, defensively is going to be insane. Absolutely insane. So great question, though, Chris. Great question for sure. And you guys can chime in on that too, for sure. All right, man. It's not fair, but Osiris at age 22 much better than Robin is. Yeah. That's why I said I just gotta see more. I just gotta see more. Mike, if you saw the Bad Boys back in the day, let me know. We'll talk about that for sure. What up, E. Vinny? Detroit basketball.
Wow.
Let us know how the game looked from your POV, because you were at the
Yeah.
game. Credentialed beat writer over there for Clutch Points. Y'all go check him out for sure. Let us know. All right, man. It helped really the Pistons won the shootout battle today, but players were old. Yeah, I agree with you guys. All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Boss, let's go now to Uncle T in this game. Tobias Harris, guys. Tobias Harris over me. Charlotte, Brooklyn. Finished with 23 points on 9 for 18 shooting, 1 on 3 for 3, 4 of 7 from the free throw line, 8 boards. 8 boards is good board work for Tobias. 1 assist, 1 turnover, and 2 steals in 31 minutes. Boss, take off on what you saw from Uncle T in this game. Dial it up.
So it feels like, dial it up. It feels like it's been tough to give Tobias his complete flowers, because it kind of gets overshadowed by the narrative of like, we shouldn't have to rely on Tobias this much, or he is, it goes kind of 50-50 when he's up against Banchero, or why he's in so much and we need defense and offense. So and it's a narrative I'm happy to get into, but I personally just going to focus again on, once again, Tobias has stepped up. He has not fallen off for this team throughout this series. He has stepped up in multiple ways. Once again, he has the second leading scorer. It's pretty much Cade and Tobias at the top two. Yes, we need other people to do it, but I just I need to just give him his flowers for what he's doing. And again, 8 rebounds. I think last game he had 7 rebounds or 6. Like, he's averaging, those higher numbers. He's been incredible off the boards. I love how he boards. He rips it down. He hides it. He holds on to it. Just very smart. He just continues to have that veteran presence. And so many, people earlier were talking about how the youth of this game of our team is causing some of these problems and everything, but none of it is Tobias. He had one breakaway, I think, where he didn't finish at the rim, but he makes up for so many things. He makes very few mistakes for what he can do. And even though, Banchero can give him problems at times, Tobias is still staying in front of him.
He's trying.
He's just getting bodied a little bit. So he's accepting the challenge. I think, he finally hit a 3 late in the game, which was nice.
That was a big one too.
Maybe that was the third, or the beginning of the fourth.
It was the fourth. Yeah.
But yeah, so he hit a big 3, which we really needed.
Yep.
And of course, my when I saw that it was late shot clock and the shot clock practically. He got off just in time.
Yep.
We really needed it to stay in front, and he nailed it. He just continues to step up as our vet, and I'm just thrilled by it. And again, I just think that everyone here can agree that he's stepping up for us, and I understand the other narratives, but I gotta just give him his flowers before we talk about that, because despite it all, he's consistently putting points on us. He's consistently grabbing boards. Let me see his board split. Yeah, 7 defensive again, just like I gave Ausar props. Like, he's preventing those second chance opportunities for the Magic. He only had 3 fouls, and this is again a guy who's getting beat up at times by some of their big players, never backing down from the challenge. He went down to hobbling, was able to regain it. He stayed up. He wants to be out there. The passion is there. He got his own stank face on today, dialing up threes for everybody else if he wasn't hitting them. It was nice. It's just attacking the rim and one in the first. He had steady offense, another dunk. He's just looking so fun out there. So, excuse me. Also, 2 steals is huge. Only 1 turnover, which is just, again, big.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's what Michael was saying.
Yeah, Tobias has 30 minutes each game
and 1 turnover per. That is very underrated.
And he doesn't ball handle that much. He can. Usually when he has the ball in his hands, he gives it right back. Yeah, I know. The dribbling to the side is so funny. But when usually he gives it back to Cade, it's like a handoff thing, to get through screens or whatever. Or he's just going to post his guy up and turn around and shoot it. Right. He was on tonight. 9 of 18, 50%. I'll take any time. And I even know that he can do better. Some of those are a little bit in and out. But yeah, that's where I'm at with Tobias. And again, someone I actually wouldn't have minded him in later. They did eventually bring Wu in. He's not someone, while we do need more defense, I still think, like, again, I just didn't like the starting lineup in for the last 4 minutes. It didn't make sense to me. But he's like, I'd rather have him in late than Duncan because his offense is more reliable than Duncan's. You know, if you're going to have someone to keep in for offense with Cade and surround him with defense, I'd rather Tobias than Duncan.
Agreed.
But
can't be both. But yeah, if it's gonna be one, for sure, I agree.
Yeah, but that's kind of where I'm at with him. Okay. And again, he's been incredible this series, truly.
Yeah, I agree. Eric says LCA was hype. He's letting us know how it was. He was in the building. Great job to the fans in the building for keeping the guys fired up. Yeah, the energy seemed like it was, like you mentioned, it seemed like it was a little bit nervous early, a little bit of jitters, nervous energy. But once we kind of started imposing our will a little bit early into the game, getting the crowd into it from jump, which was important. Yeah, that was great to see the crowd kind of react and feed off of that. My volume
was so low, and all of a sudden I could just hear defense as clear as day. Everyone's chanting. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So shout out to y'all if you were there. Shout out to Alan, man, for the 1 month membership. Appreciate that, Brody. Says the funny thing about Dennis Rodman is that he was actually drafted as a scorer, averaging 25 points per game at Southeast Oklahoma State. Yes, he was. It was crazy. It's funny because if you watch him back then, bro, like he has the same job. Whenever he scores, he's got that. He's doing the same things he was doing. He's all the antics, and he's running down the court the same way, just look a little bit younger, a little baby face. But yeah, he was a beast. It's his story too is crazy how he even got discovered. Like he kind of just like fell into basketball. It was something he wasn't playing his whole life, and he was a country boy, you know. So it's an interesting story. But you're right, Alan. That's why he's just one of those guys, those rare guys, where he's just a great athlete and he's able to turn it into being a great basketball player. So shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you as always, man. That's dope. That's dope. Yes. For me, boss, it just I want to keep this. I don't want to make it sound like it's a negative, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to give out my flowers, because I know you're just going to talk about a different side, and you agree with what I'm saying. We're going to talk about a different approach.
I 100% agree. It's like for me, it's just not the best situation for him. Like to me, it's kind of like, I'm gonna go back in time. It's like Bill Cosby used to always say in one of his episodes. He said the way things are done is important, and when it happens is important. He said if you have a gourmet meal and you take the top of a trash can top and you put the gourmet meal and use the trash can top as a plate, what is it? It doesn't feel the same, right? It doesn't feel the same. For me, Tobias Harris is that meal. He is that offensive guy, right, that we need at times to be able to score. When we need to play in the half court, he's great, right? Yeah. But it's like this team isn't built to play in the half court. And that's the bottom of that's the top of the garbage can. That's the way it comes across. It's like it just doesn't fit for me. It's great because it's hard because you got Paolo who's able to get buckets. It's a mismatch. That's a mismatch, right? He's just not, you can't teach his side. He's just not big enough and athletic and strong enough, especially at this age, to be able to stay in front and to keep him from being able to bully his way to the rim. It's just not his game. He's never been known to be a defensive stopper anyway, but as he gets older, it's even tougher for him, right? So it's just like, that's the tough part, is Paolo was really getting off, because he was able to use that size advantage. And that's why we kept having to play in the half court, which helps because he's good in the half court. It's kind of, it's a conundrum.
Right.
Because the thing that he's good at,
about it,
it's like we can respond to the lack of defense that he provides at times with his offense. But who we are and how we play, we don't want to be in the half court as much as we are. So it's nice to have him in the outlet as an outlet in the half court, but we don't want to live there. So the way for him to score a lot of points is to play in the half court. But we don't want to be in the half court. So it's just a conundrum for me. And that's kind of why it's a struggle for me. As far as what he brings us and who he is, I could not ask for anything else. Like, it's not like he's getting cooked on defense. In an offense, he's just shooting us out of a game and he's taking a bunch of bad shots and he's not moving the ball. First of all, he's trying defensively, first of all, right? He's giving the effort defensively. It's just that he's just not a really good defender. And second of all, he's usually efficient offensively. So it's nice to have that in your back pocket.
Right.
I just don't want that to be what the Pistons have to always rely on. When they play in the half court, we saw it. That's not when they're at their best. It helps because he's so good there. But oftentimes the offense looks stagnant in the half court, right? So that's kind of my conundrum when it comes with Tobias Harris. With him and who he is and what he does, he was absolutely great. He's absolutely great. It's just for me more important for this lineup and for who we're playing against to start with the defense, to be able to get stops on Paolo instead of having to trade baskets with Paolo. Instead of Paolo and Tobias going back and forth trying to score each other, you got somebody else like Stu who can keep them from scoring, and now our scoring is easier in the in the fast break and the break. So for me, that's the only thing with Tobias Harris. Like, for what he brings, he's great. I just hope we can kind of not have to rely on him so much in the half court and be able to have other guys guard a little bit better, because that's who we are at our core. So that's what I got on that. Go ahead.
Like I said, I think it's a little bit, we were questioning why he was in, and I do. I mean, he's been our second scorer, guys. Every game, he's our second scorer. That's why he's in. And 100%. Yes, we can score on transition. That's where we want to score. Everyone can kind of eat when we get to do transition ball, but like, I think he wasn't a problem for me being on the court so much at all tonight. It was just more who else was around him at the same. Because there was like one time where it was like Cade and Jenkins, and I was like, what is happening? This is like Jenkins, Tobias, Duncan. I'm like, no.
It needs more defense.
Yeah, exactly.
So late in games, we're not trying to outscore teams. We're trying to get stops for sure. So y'all get it. That's my only thing. That's my only thing with Tobias. I'm not gonna harp on that. You guys know where I'm at with that. It's always defense for me first. It's always gonna be that way for me first. But when he brings us offensively, in the effort he tries to bring defensively, I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that for sure. So that's all I got on him, boss.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep pushing, guys. Let's go now to Jalen Duren in this game, guys. Jalen Duren finished with 12 points on 4 of 6 shooting overall, 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Good stuff, JD there. 9 boards, 2 assists, 3 turnovers, and 2 blocks in 28 minutes, boss. What'd you see from JD in this game?
His best game of the series. And it's not even close to what he can do. First of all, I've been saying, guys, I feel like he's just been blank behind the eyes, confused. He looked much more intentional, much more into it, much more passionate today.
Yep.
So I thank you, JD, for that. Like, thank you, at least from your demeanor, something's changed, and that makes me happy. So, so just some highlights I have from him. He opened the game with an and one. He was attacking Wendell Carter Jr. Got an and one. He had a big presence at the rim early. In the fourth, he had that lob from Cade. It was right out of a timeout, and it was an and one. Ended up being an and one opportunity. He caught it far from the rim. I don't think he would have thrown it down even if he was fouled. It was a little bit farther back. Maybe he would have gotten one more step, but if that's what they have to do, like, and I said, she was like, it's been so long since we've seen that. I was like, I miss that. The Cade and JD lob. It used to be like, I would bet on, I don't personally bet, but like, not bet on him, but like, I would, if I had to say who was going to get the first basket of the game, I would pick JD because it was Cade to JD. Usually now I would pick Tobias or Cade, but it was usually a JD lob from Cade. So in the fourth, he just really stepped it up. He had a nice putback as well on a miss. And then at the end of the fourth, he had that block on Banchero.
Yep.
And then Banchero ran like right into him late. And JD kept, stayed strong, stayed straight up. And Banchero just lost the ball, ended up in Cade picking it up for a turnover. So in the spurts that he had out there were much more productive. I feel like attacked it more so. He didn't have the ball in his hands a lot. The turnovers were bad. I don't want you to, like, it's not working. You at the top of the key turning around and dribbling, it's not working. It's too easily poked away. And JD at the start of the season used to like bring the ball off the court dribbling up to his armpit, and he's at least got a lower dribble now, but he still can't, against this team, he can't do it. So I don't want to see that anymore. 3 turnovers, and mostly just, his own, just not getting the ball out of his hands too much, over dribbling sort of stuff. But I still need to see more from him. Like, I need to see his averages. I need to see 2010s. I need to. But again, just his demeanor, his approach, the way he was trying a little harder, playing more aggressively. He got into foul trouble. But again, that at least shows me that you're being aggressive. You're not just standing around being a cone. So a couple fouls that were bad, I think, but nothing like lazy swipes or anything. Just playing aggressively, and the Magic getting the better of him. Banchero likes the come under, it gets the reach, things like that. So I hope that this game gave him a little bit more confidence going into the final two games. We're gonna win the series, guys. But I just hope, because that's what I want to see from him. It's just kind of crazy, like just like we said with Cade, like Cade had 39 in the first game. JD's been around that like 10 point, 11.9 rebounds up, but like this game, it just felt different. So and 28 minutes too. That's perfectly fine. Again, I still want to see B-ball. I know we all do. But 28 minutes for a center just showed me that Isaiah Stewart played more, which was definitely an adjustment we wanted, regardless of if he was on the court or not. We just wanted to see Isaiah Stewart more, and we did. So, so I need a little bit more from him, but I very much like he was looking more like JD this game.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I'm at too. I thought his start could not have been much better for him and for the Pistons. For his own confidence and for the Pistons because they need him. That and one out the gate was huge for his confidence, for him to settle in, for him to be more aggressive. That was the best case scenario to the first possession of the game was that right there. That was the most confident I've seen JD tonight in the series was tonight for sure. He even had a different look, like the way you could just tell by his demeanor how he's feeling.
Exactly.
Right. He's looked a lot more confident and composed. And they established him early, boss. I like how they established him early. They tried to get him going early. And that fueled, I think, his offensive boards. That fueled him getting on the glass. That fueled him blocking shots. The energy was just different, But here's the thing. He has 7 points in the first quarter. And he's had 7 points midway through the fourth quarter. He didn't score again until the fourth quarter. Until he converted that tough and one lob. So I want to see just more consistent play throughout the game. I thought he may have a monster game, a breakout game, the way he started, because he couldn't be stopped.
We needed it.
Wendell Carter really couldn't do anything with him tonight. It looked a little bit different in one-on-one matchups and one-on-one coverages.
Finally,
he looked bigger and stronger and just better. Right. So I'm like, where's that at midway through the game? We need more of that. So I want to give him credit because, like you mentioned, this is a better game for him, but he's still not to the level yet that we want to see. What I do like though. Fourth quarter, he did wake up. I liked how he's committing more. I do want to see more board work, but when it starts getting 15, he ain't leaving much for you. But I want to see more board work. But I like how he's locking it on defense too. Post game after the last game, he said that he doesn't care if he's not scoring a ton of points because he wants to provide defense too. So and that's what I was saying a few games ago. Like you can't have a 8.6 rebound game. You can have an 8.20 rebound game.
Yeah.
But not 8 and 6, not 8 and 7, not to where you're not even impacting the game enough in other ways, no stocks, stuff like that. So once, like I said, like if you're not scoring a ton of points, this applies to everybody. You have to find ways to be impactful in other places. And I thought tonight, he won the tip as well. That's a good point. He doesn't always win the tip. He won a couple of them because one was a jump ball off of a replay they didn't go look at. But yeah, he even knows he won.
He didn't win the replay one though, because remember that was that terrible throw where they just let it.
Oh my God, you're right. Yeah, they threw it basically to Orlando.
It's like you can redo it, refs.
Yeah. But the huge block in the fourth quarter late was huge for me. That's a clutch block for him.
Yes.
To show like you can't just walk in here, bro. Late in the game,
and it showed
just to make
effort.
him think twice. And it's for sure. So gotta stop trying to go 1-on-1 though, bro. Gotta stop trying to go 1-on-1. We saw it with, I think it was game 1 against Wendell Carter. Tried to go the in and out cross. Lost it. Same thing happened again tonight, right? We don't need that. We don't need him trying to board and push. We have guards. We have guys.
Not with the pokey magic. Like if we do are against Cleveland, and like Mobley and Allen could be disruptive, but the Magic want to stop you before you get there. So they're gonna try to take it.
So I thought he read the game a little bit better. I thought he reacted to their defense a little bit better because once again they were trying to crowd him and make sure that they were trying to just keep the ball out of his hands. But he found ways to get it. They found ways to work around that, and he took advantage of those opportunities. And he didn't take a ton of shots either. That's what I like. Right, 4 for 6. I'm living with that. That's been his calling card all year. Has been his efficiency. I think he passed Wilt Chamberlain. I think for the highest field goal percentage and scoring a certain amount of points. Something crazy. So this season has been incredible for him.
Right.
But a few games this series, we've seen him 3 for 10, 4 for 10. It's like, where's that efficiency at? So to see 4 for 6, I still want to see more shots than 6.
Right.
But at least he's headed back in the right direction of being efficient again. So I can live with this. If he continues to ascend from here, we got a great chance to win this series. But he has to continue to keep playing this way and just continue to keep playing better. So we'll see. But I thought all in all, it was his best game of the series, like you said. But I hope by the end of the series, this is not his best game of the series. It can't be. So,
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I'm with First Class Kings here. I'm predicting JD have a breakout game in game 6. I think this was a huge stepping stone being his best game. Like you said, his best game, but it can't be his best of the series. So hopefully, again, even with just the emotions, like just bring that intensity. You can do it now. Someone mentioned earlier too, Wendell, JD finished with 9 boards. Again, he's usually in double digits, but Wendell only finished with 4. I know we had Ausar flying in and stuff, but it just tells me, and Wendell also only had 9 points. So it's like you beat him finally. And like, you can do it. And it takes effort, but not a lot. Like, we're just asking you to be consistent.
Win your matchup, bro. He should be winning that matchup every single night.
Yes.
And he hasn't thus far.
Yeah.
He has not thus far, right? So I think he's won 2 and he's lost 2 up to this point, right? So he's something like that. He won 2 and lost 3, something like that. So he definitely has to win that matchup if we're gonna have a chance to win this series for sure.
Yeah.
So
I like Anthony
all right,
here
boss.
too. I'm a ref. I never throw the ball up. I'm not good at it. That's how I feel I would be. I feel like it would be too much pressure for me, and then I would do it and I'd be like, wait, that wasn't good enough, guys. And then we would just never get out of that circle. So it's intense. I don't want to do it, but refs should be able to call out when they're good.
But I'll throw that ball in the stand.
Just throw it in the sky, stuck in the ceiling.
All right, guys, let's keep pushing, man. Boss, let's get to some reserves. If you see any more comments too, you can throw them up here. I'm trying to get to as many as I can.
Absolutely.
But yeah, let's go to some reserves, guys. Let's go now. Let's start with Isaiah Stewart, boss. I got a lot to get to with Isaiah Stewart. Let's start with him first. Isaiah Stewart, guys, in this game finished with 5 points on 1 for 3 overall. He misses only 3 4 from the line, 5 boards and a block in 20 minutes. So what'd you see tonight from Beef Stew?
Yeah, I mean, the stocks are usually higher up, but he did deter a lot of shots. Like, his presence was a deterrent for a lot of these guys. His block, though, was in the second. It was on Kane, and it led to a Cade transition 3. It was nice. So he got that, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but we've been talking about how the Magic are dirty, and you can never really point to, like, they're sneaky dirty, and one of the sneaky dirty things they do is that when Stu gets in the air, they undercut him.
Yes.
That's why Stu had to hang on to the basket and got that basket interference, and he's had to do it a few times. It's because the minute he jumps up, someone just goes, he's just trying to protect himself.
That's what happened to him last game when he almost hurt himself. Same thing happened to Ant-Man when he did hurt himself.
Yes. So no, Ant wasn't undercut.
Yes, he was. Go look at it again. It's the same play.
Okay. But I do like, but anyways, but with Stu, I mean, the 5 boards is huge. That's the most off the bench. So his center presence was there. Again, only 1 block, but again, just deterrence. Just no one really wanted to go at him. I don't think he got dunked on tonight or anything. Let me see what Goga's numbers. Goga has 0 points and 1 rebound in 14 minutes. So again, he did his job there. He came in late. He guarded Banchero on the perimeter, and Banchero's 3 was way off. Banchero, because they're not going to dribble into him. And there, a couple of times that he didn't get into it with anyone. But yes, he did. He walked away from something. I forget what it was, but he said something and walked away. I don't think it was anything major. Like, he's there, and like, he was calm. And I think the most shocking thing for me is just that he did only have 1 stock, because his presence was felt. But again, it's just kind of like how sometimes with Wu, you don't see at all on the stat sheet, but you just know that he was huge on defense, and that's just who Stu was tonight. And again, a lot of people agreed, even coming into this game, that playing Isaiah Stewart more was the adjustment that needed to be made, and that adjustment was made. So that does give me hope that more adjustments will be made that would benefit, and they're still learning game by game. And we were able to pull this one out regardless. But Stu on the court is just gold for us. He did have 3 fouls in that time, but again, him and JD having fouls is totally fine with me, especially when we have guys like B-Ball and other guys that we can rely on. Even Tolu's size would make a huge difference if he had to come in. But but yeah, I'm always happy with Stu's aggressiveness. And yeah, the block on Kane was probably the biggest one for me. And I was hoping that we'd hit that 3. That would have been awesome. He's been pretty reliable at the 3. So they did try to get, and he hit his free throws, and they did try. I think Cade tried to get it into him in a lot of traffic. Like they were trying to get him going too. But the Magic have been good in the paint all series. So Stu just definitely held his own. But he had that one foul on it was a free throw. That was kind of like, Stu, stop.
Yeah, the emotional one.
I did
right
point
after
this
he
out
got
too.
undercut, he was
Whenever he does a screen, because the way the Magic flop and flail, whenever he's screening, he has to put his hands up to show that he's not doing anything, which is kind of crazy, because then you got to consider that means that this man is out there trying to be in the moment, play basketball, and he's out there considering what the refs might not see as Magic flops. But it's smart. It's smart. So and they did give him. I was gonna say real quick, but they did give him the benefit of the doubt on a couple. They called a couple that Goga had an offensive foul. There was another one where a screen again too. Like they did give him the benefit of the doubt, but we've known this about Stu. Like we've known this. His presence makes a difference. So
yeah, and that's the thing with Stu. Like the reason they have to do that is because he's such a good screener.
Yeah,
like he's a big body. He's a wall, and he gives Cade space. He gives Cade space, and that's the thing. When they don't want Cade to have space, so they're gonna try to draw offensive foul, and that's why he has to do that, because they're trying to bait him because he's getting his guy open.
Real quick, one of my favorite stories from the regular season is Duncan Robinson saying that Stu chewed him out for not using his screens when he got to. He's like, "Why aren't you using my screens?" Because Stu takes. You guys know by now, he watches film religiously for his blocking, for his defense, for timing. But it's every area of the game he takes a lot of pride in. So I mean, I always love that story, just from, especially after they went on the podcast later on, just like Duncan being like, "No, he was literally mad at me for not utilizing his screens."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the best screen setter on the team for sure. Yeah. Couple comments. They took Stu out of the game when they undercut him. His emotions were still his weakness. That's why he had that foul after that. He was still emotional. Yeah, because guys, he missed the playoffs last year because he was hurt. So he's gonna get triggered. Not saying he should react to it, but he's gonna get triggered if he sees guys trying to hurt him or some suspect play, and he almost gets hurt. I would be upset too. He's got to control it. Claire said JB should report that to the referee governance board. It's very dangerous. Especially with guys already getting hurt on similar plays for sure. And the last game and now this game, it's like that's how I'm like, okay, what are y'all doing? They did it last game and did it this game too.
Yeah.
So that was I didn't like that at all, Claire. SVG even pointed out how Stu was causing dudes to think twice about taking it to the hoop on him. Exactly. Which brings me to my points, guys. I got a little spiel. I got a lot to say about this. If you agree, don't agree, I respect it either way. But I think Stu is the key to this series. I think Isaiah Stewart is 100% the key to this series. I've been saying that since jump. The Pistons won 60 games this year because of their defense. That's how they got the top seed in December and never let go of it. When they had guys out during that 13-game winning streak, they kept winning. Guys were still out. They kept winning. The defense. When Cade was out, Tobias out, JD out, a lot of guys out, the blueprint didn't change. They kept playing the same way. It was always defense. But here's a stat for those who don't believe me. Here's the thing. In the regular season, the Pistons averaged about 19 points per game in transition, right? Getting scores, off of their stops, getting out in the break, all that. 19 points per game in transition, right? In this series, coming into tonight, they're averaging 11. 11. That's not good enough. So 19 in the regular season, 11 in the playoffs. In game 3, boss, they lost by 8. 19, 11.
Yeah.
Game 4, they lost by 6. 19, 11. So the point is that in these close games, like they won game 2, right? The game they won, which is game 2 before tonight. Guess how many points off turnovers they had in that game? 18, right at their average, right? So not a coincidence. Tonight, guess how many they had? 19. They won. So once again, I understand you can't run every play, but you got to at least try to get to your average, because when they do that, they win. And Isaiah Stewart helps you get there. That's the point. The game does slow down in the playoffs. You guys talked about it. You can't do it every single time. It's going to be half-court play at times. But they showed in game 2, they showed tonight that they can still play their way and still win. Outside of maybe Ausar, Isaiah Stewart gets you the most fast break opportunities, boss, because he just helps you get stops. He had 8 blocks in 17 minutes last game.
That's crazy.
8 blocks in 17 minutes last game is almost as egregious as 15 rebounds and 7 stocks,
Mhm.
like Ausar had, right? But the 8 blocks in 17 minutes, guys, that set the record for the most blocks in a playoff game in Pistons history. That's more than the legendary Ben Wallace, 4-time DPOY. It's more than Terry Tyler, whoever you think of. Terry Tyler, Drummond, Bob Lanier, Lambeer, Sally, Rodman, Sheed, Tay, more than all of them. And he did it in 17 minutes off the bench, guys. Most big men in the league, it'd take them 4 or 5 games to get to 8 blocks. Games. Stewart did it in 17 minutes off the bench in one game.
Yeah.
And everybody was getting it. Like Wendell was getting his shot swat. Franz was. Paolo was. Jalen Suggs was. Bane was. Everybody was getting it because he can guard everybody. He can guard 1 through 5 the same way Ausar in different ways can guard 1 through 5. So how do you say all those things about him and not have him starting?
Yeah.
When you're a defensive team, I don't understand it. So there's absolutely, for me, boss, no reason why he should not be starting when he's one of the most 2 impactful players on your team defensively. To me, I will never understand why he's that good, that impactful defensively, and he's not starting. To me, it's an easy fix. I don't know why they haven't done it. They know more than me, but to me, that alone can be a game changer as to what. Because what if Franz comes back? Then what?
Yeah.
You're gonna need more defense in that lineup, right? So even without it, they still got 2 guys who are 6'10" in the front court. We saw Paolo get off in that 4th quarter. You got to fight fire with fire. So for me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. That's all I got. Go ahead.
Yeah, I get it.
Abraham. Imagine, bro. Yes.
I get 100%. it. It's just, again, I think the adjustment that we're going to get is just more minutes on the court. I don't know if we get it too big. I don't want to be forced into that decision. I want JB to come to that based on what we've seen. But again, I think it's just a little bit of that. He's our backup 5. He's not playing another position sort of stuff.
And you could be right.
But I get it. But I'm just saying, I just think that I don't think that JB necessarily wants him on the court as a 4 right now.
No, like I like the reason. I don't even. Not this is even towards you. I don't even care what the reason is for not having him out there. He needs to be out there. Period. There is no reason for him to not be. You know what I'm saying? Like, and guys, Stu said this the other day when he was asked about the challenge of navigating his limited minutes in the series. He was actually asked about that by my guy, Hunter Patterson. Shout out Hunter Patterson, man, of The Athletic, for asking this question. But guys, take a look at what Stu said when he was asked about this. He said, at the end of the day, you've got to trust the game plan coach has, and you've got to be there for your teammates. It sucks because I want to be out there more because I know what I bring, and I know the impact I have on the game. Listen to this. I know the Magic don't want me out there for a reason. So yeah, it's tough. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be the best teammate that I can be. That right there says it all.
Yeah, so true.
He feels like he should be starting. He'll never say that because he doesn't want to undercut coach and not get it.
Yeah.
He gave the right response. He's trying to be there for his guys in the sense of not being upset that he's not playing more. He's going to encourage whoever's out there, who's ever out there. But based on what you just saw and what you just read him say, it's clear to him that he should be playing more. So lastly, and I'll get off it, I understand, those who feel like Stu should start for JD instead of playing them together, right?
Yeah.
But hear me out. I still think that he and JD playing together, starting together, to me is the move. Because JD has struggled mightily in this series.
Yeah.
No argument there, right? But I think him playing alongside Isaiah Stewart, another true big, it puts the Pistons in position to do what they do best. I would play them together. I have Paul Reed be your first big off the bench. That's another perk of having Stu start with JD is that you force Paul Reed to play, right? And Stu makes JD a much better player when they play together. He makes JD a much better player when they play together, especially defensively. We saw it in spots. It was very spotty, but we saw it in spots with them too earlier this season. When Tobias got hurt. You guys remember Tobias Harris got hurt with that hip injury in mid-season. He missed those few games, and we saw Stu and JD play together, starting together. They dominated the paint. They were a force on the boards. They protected the rim. They were covering each other's 6, right, with their help side paint defense, going and grabbing the board, switching and grabbing the rebound. the physicality was overwhelming. Like there aren't a lot of offensive rebounds to be had when you got those two playing together, and they were running because they were getting stops. They were rebounding well. So JD has to step up. Totally agree. We all know that, right? But before I'm sitting him, I'm letting the dog pound guard the yard together, like they did when they played together with that during that brief stint. So if it doesn't work, okay, fine. Go with Paul Reed. I want to see two bigs, period. But I'm not giving up on JD until I see how it looks again with Stu. And if it gives me the same results it did earlier in the season, especially against this team, having Stu guard Apollo to where he can't just get off and they're isoing every time down the court, the best Apollo went off. Like he was the reason they stayed in this game. If Stu is guarding him, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. He is the best equipped player on our team to guard Paolo straight up.
Oops.
So
Sorry.
to me, that's the move. I'm trying it together with those two. I think he's the key, and there's no question about it in my mind. I hope we see it because I don't know if we can win two more times, especially once in their building, the way we did tonight. I hope we can, but I think we ensure we get a dub with our physicality on the road. And having Stu guarding Paolo, I think solves that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that like, I don't know how you watch the game. You watch the closing minutes with Stu. You watch what's been on the court. I don't think you watch the Magic's offensive mindset, that what they wanted to do on the court with Banchero in the third. I don't think you watch that and think that we're fine.
Yes.
You know? So that's what I would hope to see from coaches, that he does make, and for me, it's even like, I know you want to see him as a starter. I don't think they're going to mess with the starting unit. I really don't. But
you're probably right. But, I hate it, but you're probably right.
if they're not going to mess with the starting unit, at least run the two big.
Yes. That's all we're saying. Just have two guys. Yeah.
Banchero was off the court a couple times. If Banchero is on the court, run a two big.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
he's honestly the biggest one. And then they have, of course, Wendell or Goga. So
6'10". Yep.
And one of those guys is going to be on the court one time because they're center. But if Banchero's on two, run the two big.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they always have two bigs out there. And they're a big team already. So it's just, why not just match it? You guys play similar ball, right? They play the same way you play. But if you're undersized, who's going to win that battle more times than not? That's just the math of it. So yeah, and with Stu being as good defensively as he is, it's a no-brainer for me. So I'll leave it there, guys. We probably won't see it. I really hope we do. I'm a little nervous about the series because I don't know if we're going to see it. I hope we see more minutes of them together, just more two big lineup together, whoever it is, whether it's Stu and JD, B-Ball Paul and JD, Stu and B-Ball Paul, whoever. Just have two bigs out there.
If there's a time to shake it up, it's this next game. If there's a time to throw the Magic off, it's this next game. It's two big lineups. It's bringing in B-Ball Paul. It's bringing in Ron Holland at the end of quarters to keep things energetic.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Do it. Throw them off.
Well said. I agree. So that's my Isaiah Stewart spiel. I'm watching the game and my blood is just boiling down the stretch. Like, why is he not playing, bro? They're going to Paolo every time. What is happening? So yeah, I had to get that off. I got it off. I feel better. Hopefully we'll see something like that. If not, we'll just kind of ride it out and see what happens, boss. But we'll leave it there. On Stu, anything else on him?
No, that's it. Just again, I really love the quote that you brought up too, because it just does kind of it gives that he has major respect for everybody, but
for sure,
and coach, but you can tell he wants to be out there. You can tell that he also is just like, let's go.
Yes, exactly. So we'll leave it there on Isaiah Stewart, guys. Let's keep pushing, boss. Let's go now to Daniss Jenkins in this game, boss. Daniss Jenkins. Tink finished with 6 points on 2 for 8 shooting. 5 from 3. Come on, bro. Come on. 2-2 from the line, 2 assists, 1 turnover in 16 minutes. What'd you see tonight from Tink?
All right. Well, Daniss, he had really nice. It breaks my heart a little bit because, he has these wide open shots and they're leaving him open because they're daring him to, because he hasn't been the threat yet.
Right.
And so when we see some of these easy shots that he should be making, it's also just like a little heartbreaking too, because you're just like, we know you can do this. And it's a lot to put on a rookie again, we've talked about. And I said, a lot of people want a 4 They want some, I still think that Daniss can be our number 2 point guard next season, but I want to bring in a vet to help, at that position. I know some people are like, McCollum, I don't need anyone expensive. I think that position is well done, and we just need somebody. Cade is also young himself. Like he's a star, but just someone else for some guidance. But anyways, he had great passes early. Those assists connected. No turnovers, which is again his most steady.
Yeah, his calling card.
It's awesome. It's truly impressive. And so no matter how much we want to see his shots go in, especially his threes when he lines them up, because those are the ones being left wide open. The no turnovers has to be praised because it's been an issue for this team,
not him. Yeah.
So that's why was out there earlier. That's why he's out there, guys, too, for ball handling. He was out there a little bit with Cade late. He's just another guy. He got a steal. He was a little bit lazy on defense. But early
he was at times. He fell asleep a few times.
Early. He came in and he was a little bit like, "Hey, you got to play like Daniss. You're in the basketball game. Like you got guard. You can't just let guys blow right by you." But
94 feet, you can't have that 94 feet
exactly.
getting to the rim with it. Yeah, go ahead.
Exactly. So and I think the last thing for me is just again, don't understand why he was in for the last 4 minutes.
Yeah, I would have liked. Yeah,
it's that whole thing. It's like pick one, pick Daniss or pick Tobias or pick Duncan for Daniss's ball handling off, for Cade off ball, for Tobias's mid-range shooting, and for Duncan's 3-point shooting. Pick one to go with Cade, and then the rest defense.
Defenders
not all three
with size. Yes,
not all three on the court. That was
agree.
I could not. I truly was just like, am I seeing what I'm seeing right now? It's like
I agree.
Maybe you are trying to sell it. I don't know. Was he testing them? Like how far can I take it? I don't know.
In an elimination game,
it was so weird. It was
weird because you don't usually see that anyway. You don't usually see that anyway. Yeah.
No, exactly. That's not even a lineup that's we run.
Yep.
Bizarre. But anyways,
I agree. Go ahead.
Again, so the nice passes, made his free throws. That's an improvement. Only one foul. It is. The 2 for 8. He's been hanging around 20-25%, and he did have a nice take to the rim in the third just to help get keep the offense ahead. But man, it was a tough watch in terms of shooting. Not much facilitating, but in 60 minutes. Again, the no turnovers in 60 minutes is big though, because he was the ball handler in those 60 minutes. Maybe
and that's my thing.
14 of those 16, but still.
Right. 17 turnovers to the team, none from him tonight. I do think this is a tough matchup for him too, though. Like the reason I was saying like this is tough for him is why I was saying I don't think Sasser's going to play. Right. And it's, once again, it's not because Sasser is a bad defender. None of that. It's just you need to have as much size out there as you can, and Daniss is just a little bit bigger, and he's a natural point guard. It's tough to throw Sass in there right now, cold against his defensive team. That's not a good idea. But I think this is a tough matchup for him as far as being able to just have space the way he's used to having. They're crowding him at times. They're very long. He's seeing a lot of new things defensively for the first time in the playoffs. He's seeing how they're really just scouting him. This is probably the first time in the NBA where he's being scouted. Like we got a game plan against him and take him away. This is a two-way guy before this. He probably was used to being able to take advantage of guys overlooking him. But now you're one of the guys, bro. So now you got to make the adjustments because they're coming after you. And I think he's just trying to figure that out and deal with that. That's a new thing for him, right?
Right.
That's kind of what I think it is with him. He has to figure out and adjust to how much they're keying in on him, much like JD. First time for JD, we've seen them really key in on him. Last year, they didn't. He wasn't offensively what he is this year. He wasn't as impactful on both ends this year as he is this year. Last year, as he is this year, right? So they got to learn. They got to learn. But despite that, he's still not turning the ball over.
Right.
That's so important. We talked about Cade. He's got to continue to get those down. Of course, Cade's usage is higher. But as the other only point guard, he's not turning it over despite all of what I just said. So the shooting is the only thing that's a struggle for him right now. The defense, I mentioned, he's got to be more aware of defense. I talked about Cade, where his controller just dies and he's kind of caught ball watching. Daniss has to keep his guy in front a little bit better. I know Anthony Black's a big guard, but you can't let a guy inbound the ball and go 94 feet without looking to pass and go to the rim for a layup. That can't happen. That can't happen, right? It's just not enough resistance from Daniss. Once again, these guys are bigger than him, so it's tougher. That's why I feel Sasser would struggle even more, right? But I think for him, it's just figuring it out. He's just figuring it out in real time. But he, as far as the ball control and the ball, as far as taking care of the ball, he's got that. It's just now just figuring out how to be more impactful on the offensive end as well. Yeah. So I still got a ton of confidence in him as far as for now in the future. I feel if we get through this series, he will have a great bounce back series. Whoever comes out of this first round on the other side in the second round.
And so if he could just find his shot a little bit, and coming into this next game, it will be huge. And I know it's easy, guys, to jump. Like a lot of you are just mad at his production, but it cannot be understated enough how important the no turnovers is. And that's why he's on the court with Cade. And I do think that he was on the court with Cade a few times today for his shot as well. He just prioritized other things. 2 of 8 is rough, but none of the shots were bad.
Right. Exactly.
There's just a few, again, wide open threes. He has not been able to get this 3 ball rolling this series, but hopefully.
For sure. And last thing on this, so Sasser's a 5-out scorer, and that's what we need. But here's the thing, because he said Daniels only has a little more size. Do you guys, I'm trying to think how to say this. I trust Daniss Jenkins more as a backup point guard, as a guy who's going to set the table. Sasser's a great scorer. How is he going to do? How is he going to fare setting up other players, setting up his teammates, right? Who aren't as gifted offensively as a starting unit is, right? Daniss doesn't have a Tobias Harris he can dump the ball to in the post off the bench. Doesn't have it. So you need that's what you need. You need a guy who can set the table for everybody else. Other than Cade, Daniss is the only player on the team who can do that. Sasser is not a point guard, guys. He's not a point guard. He can get buckets. He can get buckets for himself, but now the offense is stagnated just watching him. That's not what you want. You want Daniss being able to set up guys like Stu, running the pick and roll, running different things, running different actions as a floor general. So as much as if Sasser's going to play, he's got to play with a point guard. He's got to play either with Cade or he's got to play with Daniss. So if you trust Sasser as a shooting guard alongside Cade, you still got a defensive problem. So if you want to try it in spots, okay, cool. But he can't be the backup point guard. That has to be Daniss Jenkins because he's the true point guard who knows how to facilitate and get everybody else involved. That's what it comes down to. The offense would not look great if Sasser's running a point guard with the second unit. It's just not going to look great. He may look great. He may look pretty good at times getting his own, but the offense as a whole with movement, which is what we want, ball movement, player movement, that's what we want. And he would get hunted. That's what I was saying too. That's the difference. And now listen, Daniss hasn't been great, but Sasser wouldn't be any better.
So for me, it's like Sass, I would trust on a Suggs and a Bane, to be honest. I think he has quick hands. I think he could do his steals, but it's that switch. Enough. It's the switch. No, I think he could do fine on point.
I don't.
Whoever's bringing the ball up, I absolutely do. But I think the minute they switch for Banchero, that's when he gets run over.
And to be fair, like the switch on Daniss with Banchero too will still be trouble. Like I'm not even saying. I'm just saying. To me, those guys are too big and strong. Suggs and Bane are both 6'4", and they're heavier than him. Daniss is 6'4". He's at least as tall as those guys. He can at least contest a little bit better on the shot. So that's to me the difference. So ain't nobody wilding on Sasser, bro. I'm giving it to you straight. If you take it as wilding, that ain't my problem, bro. I'm telling you what they're seeing. It's the reason they're not playing him. Think about it. Do you think they just don't like Sasser?
If they're not going to play B-ball,
it's the reason he's not playing, bro. I'm telling y'all what it is. You got to have a point guard on the court at all times. You have to.
Yeah. And I'm always the one that comes to Sasser's defense. I still think that he gives me TJ McConnell vibes at times on defense. He can be very handsy. He can get the ball away. He's great at steals. I think he has the best handles on the team, and I stand by that. But who would love to see Sasser, there's just no way.
Next series, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a bad matchup, bro.
Maybe it's the Raptors. Put him on Jamal Shed.
There we go. Let him cook him.
Put him on Max Strus.
Yes. It's a totally different situation. For this series, coming in cold, that's a lot to ask for him. So anyway, back to Daniss. I still think he is going to play better. I still think as he's processing, he's going to play better. He's got to shoot better though. Like 2 for 17 from
Oh
three
my
is
God,
not
no.
gonna cut it, bro.
That's what's
That's not gonna cut it. 0 for 5 tonight, no bueno.
and they're
Not gonna
wide
cut it.
open because
You gotta knock it down, bro.
he's not knocking it. There's no reason to guard him.
Yeah,
So that would just be another secret little weapon if he can't just get 4 of 8, 50%.
right.
It forces
Exactly.
you to guard, and it would force them to decide on you or Cade
Yeah,
if you're on the ball
exactly.
together, on the court
Exactly.
together.
So we'll see, guys. Listen, we'll see if we get a Sasser sighting this series. We'll talk about it.
I'm not going to
You
be
know?
mad at that. I'm
No,
not going to be mad at that because again,
if it
I still
works,
think that
me
Sass
either.
can. Yes, I still think that Sass. He's good with he's sneaky on defense. He has defensive strength, but
Yeah,
I just personally don't. He
For
would and the
sure.
guys. He would have to come in the way that, we're judging Tobias's threes, Jenkins. He would have to come in and make threes immediately.
because
If
if he's giving up more than he's scoring,
and
you know.
yeah,
yeah.
which I believe he can do.
I like Marcus Sasser a lot, man. I just think
love
it's a
him.
bad matchup for him.
No,
That's
I'm
all I'm
actually
saying.
genuinely afraid. Like I do think that his time with the Pistons are limited just because I think he could be a like he can have minutes with the team and he deserves that.
Yeah,
I wanted to be with us, but it's just tough fit.
Yes,
But I love Sass.
like I've been a fan of him. I've wanted to see him play for the past couple years. It's just I think the Pistons just want to have a point guard on the court at all times, and they should want that.
Mm-hmm.
They should want that. So yeah. All right. We'll leave it there, guys. Let's keep pushing, man. Let's see. Daniss is better point guard. Let's keep finding. That's where I'm at. He's got to get better. It has to improve. If you're wide open, you got to knock it down. And we know he can do it. We know he can do it. I've raved about him since Summer League of last year. We talked about that forever. So hopefully his shot returns and we can move on from that. Boss, let's keep going. Let's go to now Caris Levert in this game, guys. Caris Levert finished with, this is similar to the last game. He had 2 points on 1 for 4 shooting, 1 from 3, 3 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover in 25 hefty minutes. What did you see tonight from Caris in this game?
25 minutes is a lot, but his defense was stellar.
Yeah.
He had that the challenge that shouldn't have been challenged because it was barely a brush. It shouldn't have been called. It was a foul, but it's like I've seen Duncan get tackled and there's been no call, So it is Caris' fault. But I do think that I liked him on the court later.
I did too.
I'm glad that he was out there and he was out there for defense. And you could tell that he was out there for defense at times. Like, he had the 1 turnover where he dribbled it in and immediately just gave it back to them late. That sucked because he played basically 22 minutes of good basketball until then and then turned it over. And I know, and you even said to the live chat, like, guys, that was Caris's only turnover of the game. Like, we cannot pile on Caris. It's like that, just that coming in with a little bit of bias. He played such good defense. He made guys pass it up. When he was in, he fouled, was it Bane or Suggs? I don't know who it was, but he fouled one of them once, but then he actually I think it was Jamal Cain, but he closed out on Suggs. He is the perfect matchup for Suggs because Caris can stay back, but the way he closes out and how fast he gets to guys, it makes Suggs logo threes impossible for him to get up. He has to decide whether he's going to dribble it in and try to shoot a 3 around him. Like, he just doesn't have enough time to think. So I love Caris on Suggs. And I think Caris did great tonight as well. He got bodied a couple times on Banchero. He had one where he went up and exactly. There was one where Banchero basically turned into him and it knocked Caris, but Caris didn't get a foul or anything because he didn't do anything. The offense, created contact. I can't think of words tonight, guys. I'm sorry. The offense created contact and stuff. And so he did his best. He's kind of like Tobias out there too on Banchero. Again, it's just basically a size thing, like Deuceville has said, but he was everywhere. I mean, and even on transition, like, he was there. He runs up and down the court like crazy. Yeah, he's been tripping. He is a little Looney Tune-ish.
Yeah,
I like it, but it is also very like, I think that's why, some of his turnovers too, it's like because he dribbles like 5 feet in front of him, like he just is so jittery.
It's so like unorthodox the way he moves sometimes.
So I'm happy with Caris tonight for 25 minutes. because his defense was needed and appreciated, and one of the better perimeter defenders as well. He did have 4 fouls.
Yeah, he fouled on that 3.
Yeah, that 3. Yeah, exactly.
Ball.
That was the challenge one that
I know how I feel about that. I call it out every time.
I know.
Go ahead.
I know. And he had one I think got 2 in front of Suggs right away on a transition. But I just appreciate that he's everywhere because he's just helps with spacing too. Makes guys decide whether there was a couple of times I think someone was bringing it up and it was Tobias or Caris, and you were like Caris, but they gave it to Tobias. But like that's the whole thing is like if we're watching and we're like, oh, give it to him, that means that the defense has to decide too. So just impressive in terms of that. I mean, of course, when you're on the court for 25 minutes, you want a little bit more offense when we're lacking it, but the defense made up for it for me.
But once again, that just shows what I was saying. It's what that's what they're looking for, guys. He had 2 points in 25 minutes. It's the reason he played 25 minutes and only had 2 points. His defense. That's the whole point. He helped them get out and run in this game. He did miss a bunny at the rim. He can't miss layups at the rim. But once again, he can guard those guys. He can guard Suggs. He can guard Bane. That's why he plays so much. It's because the style is what? You want to get out and run. He helps you get stops and get out and run. So even though he's not scoring a ton of points, they're showing you what they're looking at. They're showing you how they want to play. If they were looking for more offense, they would have went to Sasser and they wouldn't have had him playing 20. They wouldn't have had Caris playing 25 minutes, only getting 2 points. If they're looking to go offensive, they would have went with Sasser. It's the reason they didn't. They're telling you why they're not. They're leading with the defense. That's what it is. That's what they're looking for. So whether right or wrong, you at least know why they're doing what they're doing, right? I want to see more than 2 points in 25 minutes. Absolutely. Yeah. Like we do need more than that. We need more than 2 points. I think he had 2 points last game. We need more than that.
Well,
I'm just trying to help you guys understand what they're looking for. That's all I'm saying. They're looking for defense first before offense. They want to, can you get stops? Okay, cool. If you can get stops, then if you got opportunities offensively, go for it.
Right.
That's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah.
Because that's who they are.
Again, like I don't necessarily agree with 25 minutes. I think especially when we needed offense for some stretch, but he's probably the only one I'm happy with to be on Cade or to be with Cade in those last 4 minutes, other than a shooter. Like he was on there, to really help there. And he was, flying in for rebounds as well. He got 3 his own. He is productive just in his own way, but I do think it needs to be balanced a little bit more in terms of offense and defense and the right timing. Just like with Dunk today too. Like Duncan didn't score at all in the third. Yeah. So if take away 5 minutes from him and give it to someone, and then take away Caris's 5 minutes and give it to someone else. Like cool. I do agree with some of those rotations. Right.
If you guys are feeling like that, like if you want to, because I'm not just gonna put Sasser in for 5 minutes just to say I played him. If I'm gonna play Sasser, I want him to be able to get into a rhythm, bro.
Well, that's what I was hoping that we would
work him in. Like not, all right, I played him 5. He got a shot up in 5 minutes. Yeah. Like he ain't gonna score 20 points in 5 minutes. Like you ain't gonna get that. Like, if you want to cut 5 from Duncan and cut 5 from Caris to give him a 10 to where you can see if you can get something from Sass, bet. Cool. If it makes sense. But if you see early that they're hunting him out every time, you gotta make an adjustment. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
And I'm just and this isn't really about Sass. It's about Ron and Reed too. Like I want those guys to be able to get minutes. And we only played 9 guys tonight. Like that's pretty short. So but I do think
okay.
one of my big and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Like, these are all valid stuff too.
I'm with that. Yeah.
Especially when you want offense with defense, but Ron do be missing.
Ain't gonna give you a ton of offense unless it's transition.
If you guys are mad that Caris is missing easy bunnies, Ron does too. Sometimes.
Really? Ron's usually a good finisher at the rim. He's usually a good finisher at the rim.
Or he loses the ball, or he drives too much. That
in the half court. In the half court though. In the half court. That's the difference.
True.
So if he's in there, hopefully he's not in the half court. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the point of the defense.
Right, but he gets bottled up there, and even though he doesn't get a whistle. We've talked about his whistle is terrible,
fact.
So that's another thing too. And I don't think Caris really gets it either. So that's just another thing. Is like both of them can be hit or miss in the paint.
Okay.
Not necessarily just their fault, but
I got you.
But I just think this is why I wanted to have a 20-point lead, a 17-point lead with 2 minutes left or whatever, because even though I feel like he probably still would have played the same people, it gives you a chance to get your bench in. I've seen other teams and other playoff teams be able to play their deep bench. And then you can see if Sass comes in and puts up 3 for 3 and threes from 5 minutes of play late.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, he's hot. He's ready. This is something we should try. But we haven't been able to have those opportunities because we've been keeping it too close. And I get it. And I get it. I get wanting to just like, especially when we're losing, I'm the same way. Like I want to just throw spaghetti at the wall as someone the other day, just see what works. And I probably would have tried it. But today's game didn't really have room to try it. Maybe game 6 will. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but Caris was solid. I'm not mad at y'all for thinking he played too many minutes. That is a lot. It did contribute to a win, so I can't be too mad about it. But if you guys feel like it should be divvied up a little bit more to give us some more offense, because that's tough. 25 minutes, 2 points is tough, unless you're having Ausar-like numbers defensively or Stu-like numbers defensively. Unless you're doing that, we got to get a little bit more than 2 points, right? Once again, I'm not discouraging him from playing because he's a good defender. He's an above average defender. But it's just nice to have a little bit more two-way play from Caris as well if we can get it. So hopefully we can get it, or hopefully they can, find, because we talked about Duncan at times and how it's tough with him defensively. If you want to try Sasser, cool. Let's see what we can get. I'm not mad at that. But I feel like you got to be really quick with your decision making if it's not working early. That's kind of my only thing with that. So I'm not opposed to it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, boss. All right, let's keep pushing. Let's go now, boss, to Javonte Savage. Can you woo in this game, guys? Javonte Green, he finished with 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting overall, 1 of 4 from 3, 2 boards, 1 assist, and a steal in 14 minutes. What'd you see from Savage Wood tonight?
Oh, woo. They're definitely trying to rely on him, or not rely on him, but they're definitely trying to open up his offensive game while he's on the court. It's not something we saw. We had like 2 points and like only shot like 2. We was 1 for 2 in one of the games or whatever. But I think it was game 2 that we won. His defense is stellar as per usual. No fouls. I always have to point that out because he's just incredible how he does that. He's getting frustrated with the Magic. You can tell that there's some things that I think he's getting held. He's getting, I think he wants some calls to go in that way. They're sneaky. And Javonte doesn't necessarily complain, but he's been on the refs a lot. Like you can't just let them hold.
He don't cry wolf. So
yeah. And so 1 of 4, the 3 came later, I believe, or was it the early 3?
Mm-hmm.
Did
he had a few makeable ones that he missed? One
of his threes must have been a change to a 2 then, because he had a big corner 3 in the second quarter, and then the 4th he had a big 3 at the start. That might have been the 2. That might have been the 2 point. Okay, long 2. Yep. So he was there and ready. The defense was spot on. Registered a steal, classic. So 14 minutes. Like he's someone like, again, Caris has been doing really good for the perimeter, but Woo I trust as well. So if I need some scoring, I'm gonna take maybe 5 of those minutes from Caris and give them to Woo. It's a little bit more balanced. Okay. That's kind of where I'm at. But I'm not mad at what Caris does, but Woo,
I feel that though.
Great out there. Also, when Tobias or when Ausar got injured, they brought in Caris. Remember?
Yeah. And that was where I was like, okay, they brought in Caris instead of Ron. Because all season long we saw Ron.
I thought it was gonna be Woo.
Okay.
Because we've seen Woo come in as well for the Tobias spot too. Just to shift it. So that's another reason why Caris probably got more minutes, because he was in earlier and they just went with him. I don't know if they just, but I didn't mind that because I like Woo's punch off the bench. Like it happened right at the start of the second half. So you still have the starters out there. Bring in Caris, because then Woo can still come in with that second unit and deliver. So I wasn't mad at that at all, but always happy with what Woo's doing. And he's just someone I want to, keep on our team. He's just been incredible and so reliable, and I'm always happy to see him on the court. And even 1 of 4 and 2 for 5, I really thought the other one was a 3. So, but 2 for 5 is fine with me, because it's not like the other 3s were atrocious. They were close. 1 was in and out. So you just
2 for 5 is 40%.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I just say, when we need the offense, if you're going to put up 3s, I need you to make more than 1 of something, like 1 of 4. That's fine. But I just know Woo can do 50% or higher. So
50% from 3?
He can do 2
Or-
of 4.
Well, okay. I'm not mad. Like, what did he shoot tonight? It was 2 for 5, right? Oh, 1 for. Oh, my bad. I thought you were saying he shot 2 for 5 from 3. Okay, 1 or 4 from
No,
3. I
2
got
for
you.
5 from 3 is fine.
I got you. Yeah.
2 for 5 up-
But 1 or 4.
But the one that I thought was a 3 was a long 2. So
Right.
to me, I was like, he shot well from 3, but it wasn't a long 2.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
just saying, like, if you're gonna put it, so he practically put up 5 threes because one was a long 2. But
Right.
and so
KD
I guess when you put it in that terms, it makes more sense to me. But again, they're just letting him shoot a little bit more while he's on the court, and I'm not mad at it. And he, I'm surprised he only got 2 boards. I'm sure he had some tips or he was in those groups late. We really just
one hander where he just went and got it.
Yeah. He's super reliable there. So no complaints about Will.
Same. Mike says Wu is really taking Wu is really the guy taking Holland's minutes, and I think he's more reliable at this point. That's kind of how I feel too, bro. I feel like Wu and Ron, their skill sets are similar. I don't want to say redundant, but they bring you a lot of the same things as far as what their strengths and weaknesses are. So I think the reason that he's playing is what kind of Michael is saying here. I think he's more reliable because he's a vet. He's been around the league more. He's seen different things. He knows what he's looking at. He's more composed, and he's a better spread. He spread the floor better. He's a better spacer.
He doesn't get into foul trouble, which is something, guys. And again, whether we agree with it or not, Ron Holland does not have a good whistle on either side.
Yep.
And so he does not get into foul trouble. And I've been saying from the start, Wu is the perfect vet for Ron.
Yep.
There's so much of Ron's game that can be cleaned up a little bit with Wu, and Wu's still just as aggressive, just less young. Ron is like a little Wu. So I do agree with that. And like Ron is someone that we've said, comes off behind from Ausar as well. And I do think that Ron would be utilized if Ausar had 1 foul. Like if these guys did get into foul trouble. So
yeah, it's just hard to find minutes for him because when Ausar is doing Ausar things, he's gonna play 35 plus already off rip, as he should. But then when you got Wu, who's very similar to Ron as far as how they play, as far as turning defense into offense, getting steals, creating their own offense off their defense, super athletic. North and south, they're great. But Wu can space a little bit better. To me, those are the 2 biggest keys: is the experience factor and being able to space. Right, the experience goes into the fouling, like you mentioned, boss. It's just the savvy that I think Wu has that Ron really isn't supposed to have in his second year.
Right.
So it's not really his fault. I think it's just kind of like a numbers game. That's why JB was saying you can't play 11, 12 guys. It's just kind of going to be somebody's going to get squeezed every now and then. I think as of right now, that's kind of what's happening with Ron. Not saying he isn't worthy of playing. But once again, I ain't going to play Ron 3 minutes just to play him, just to say I played him. You want to be able to play guys at least 10 plus minutes to let them get into a rhythm so they can have an impact, right? So that's kind of the thing with Ron. I think if we don't see him this series, we might see him next series. Like I think a lot of this is just matchups. But I also do see how Ron could be effective too, guarding guys like Anthony Black, guarding Suggs, guarding Bane. Ron can guard shorter guys. Ron has really great lateral movement. He can guard the Pritchards, the Maxis. So with Wu, I just think he's just a little more savvy. Go ahead.
All those loose balls today that people were diving for, Ron Holland would scoop up.
Yeah, he'd be all over him.
He'd scoop them up, or he'd hold on for jump balls. Absolutely. So it's just, to me, I know JB mentioned it in the pregame about how it's just playoff rotation and it's hard to play 12 guys.
Yep.
But to me, it almost just feels like 2 secret weapons in B-Ball Paul and Ron Holland. And I hope
let's get to them. Let's get to them because we talked about Ron a little bit, but B-Ball Paul didn't play in this game either. So you can kind of piggyback off Ron more if you want, or you can talk about B-Ball Paul. But boss, just overall, what are your thoughts on Ron and B-Ball Paul not really being much of a factor at all in this series, but specifically tonight in this game? What are your thoughts on Ron getting another DNP and B-Ball Paul getting another DNP?
I think with Ron, again, it goes as to Ausar he's kind of been our backup with Ausar. Wu earned his stripes. Ron had more minutes than Wu in game 1. Wu earned his stripes in game 2 and has kept it consistent and steady.
That's true.
So, Wu deserves that spot. I want to see Wu on the court. I think the fact that we even were down Herter, I was a little bit surprised that we just didn't still have a 10-man. We literally had a 9-man rotation. Mm-hmm. We could have utilized Ron in areas again for some of those loose balls for when they were getting hot on offense. Just perimeter defense would have been huge. So, the more I think about it, like I would have liked to see Ron tonight, but I understand why we didn't, because Wu was doing fine. Caris was doing a great job as well. And Ausar only had 1 foul. So it wasn't like Ron was necessarily needed. But I do want his energy. But now it feels like it's been a little bit too long. It's like, what would it look like with him on the court? I don't want him to get into foul trouble. I don't want him to be an easy target for. I think that's another thing is like as much as he's a good defender, guys go at him too because he's young, because he is handsy, because he is going to play you up close. And the Magic love to flop, and the Magic love to exaggerate, and they love to act. Yep. And would Ron get that benefit? The answer that we've seen all season is no. Ron does not get the benefit of the doubt when it comes to whistles. He does fly off screens, but to draw offensive fouls on guys, but like that's really, other than that,
the whistle could be.
Yeah, but so it's a little bit tough of just like. Ron also can get frustrated from the whistle. He doesn't find his groove from
it can take him out of the game a little bit.
Yes. So it's a little
bit
like.
He's not getting teased like he did before.
Yeah, Ron gets tilted too off the whistle. Yes, it's just a little bit off. That's so true. While I think that there's positives, I also could see why he's not the first call when you have Caris and Wu in front of you. B-ball Paul.
Talk about it.
I do not understand why he's not playing. I do not get it. And even if we don't play, I know we want the 3 big. Even if we don't, like it just gives more time for Duren, like especially like with Duren struggles, Stu struggles, it gives them more time to rest, to recover. B-ball Paul would the quickness, they would have 0 second chance points with B-ball Paul on the court. He would get around Goga easy. Wendell Carter Jr. would come out and B-ball Paul would just go right by him.
Yeah.
No, not with B-ball Paul's handle. I could see B-ball Paul. They would leave him wide open on a 3, and Wendell gave them a few 3s tonight. B-ball Paul could do that too. Absolutely. For sure. And if all it is just a spark, like those guys are both 2 spark plug guys. But for me, it's more so. I think B-ball Paul for sure would help us in at least especially if Duren's not hitting his potential like we've seen, and Stu is out there and needs a rest, he would at least maintain. And Ron, and like I do feel that way about Ron, but for me, I think B-ball should be in this rotation.
I 100% agree.
Yeah,
like I love Paul. We haven't been able to say I love Paul Reed in a while, boss.
I love Paul
because we haven't seen him. I'm with you, Richard. Nobody understands that. I don't get it. Against one of the biggest teams in the East, in the league, who plays physical, like it's on a silver platter right there, just waiting to be used. I don't get it. He just helps in so many different ways. So that's got to be hard for him. It's got to be hard for him to watch what's happening in that third quarter with Apollo, for example. I think he can guard Apollo, to be honest. I think probably he could guard Apollo straight up. He
probably block it. We've seen him do perimeter blocks. He would take it away.
Yeah, I agree. He's
he get his 1 foul and he'd do his,
and then he snap out of it and then get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I know that's one of your favorite players in this team, so I can imagine how you feel.
Oh my God, yes.
But I don't get that part. I don't get that part. So it wasn't really. It's gonna get forgotten a little bit because we won, but he hasn't really played much at all this series. Has he played at all this series? What?
40 seconds. Oh no, he played like 7 minutes in game 1, 2.
Was it game 1? Like that's
no, it was game 2 because I remember being like, he earned those minutes out there. He looked good. He's gonna come back in next game.
So he played the game we won.
I'm pretty sure because I was in a good mood.
Okay.
I want to say
so that's a yes.
Yeah.
Because you ain't never happy at your loss, nor should you be. So yeah, it's just weird to me. It's just weird to me with everything that he can bring this team against this team. I don't get it. It's gonna be hard for me to deal with if we lose and he doesn't play. That's gonna be hard. If I have to keep watching what I watched in the third quarter and the first quarter with Paulo, and we lose, it's gonna be hard for me to swallow that pause. It's gonna be hard for me to deal with that. So I'm just hoping that we get a chance to see him because I think we're gonna need him. We're gonna need Stu. We're gonna need B-ball Paul. We're gonna need 2 bigs starting or playing at all times, in my opinion, if we're gonna win. So, all right. He did play in the loss. So what? 7 minutes in that game?
Okay, he played a loss. Okay.
Well, I don't know. He said it was game 2. So I don't know. Either way, it's not enough. Is the point? It's not enough. I think ball has the best touch around the rim and moves in traffic best out of all our. I think you're right.
And prevents second chance scoring. The dude
He might be the
rips
best
down scores.
offensive big we have, if I'm being real, as far as your skill set,
Oh yeah,
right?
I've said that before. I
Like
swear.
JD is the most punishing, right? Stu is reliable, but I think as far as your skill set, he might be the
Footwork.
best big.
We've seen him pull up. Like he can at least make those middies.
Yeah,
He
for
can.
sure.
He's decisive.
Left hand hook,
He
jump
can
hook,
get around a guy.
like,
Yeah.
up and
He
up.
makes
Like,
the
yeah,
free
he's got a
throws.
package, bro.
Yeah.
He has a skill set, and then defensively, you know what he is.
It
So it's
would
like,
throw them
yeah,
off.
I don't know, boss.
If
Oh, no,
imagine,
man.
I mean, just imagine, even if we don't do the three, imagine it's Duren and then it's Stu, and Stu keeps it going, and then they're like, okay, Stu needs a rest. We can get back in this, and they bring in B-ball, Paul. And no resting. The guys are like, who? What?
B-ball Paul's better than Wendell Carter Jr., bro. I'm sorry. I said it. He played in game 2. Okay, that was a game they won. So,
Oh God, the Magic
coincidence.
haters are gonna be like, this guy
okay.
doesn't know ball.
All right, guys. Either way, whatever game it was, it wasn't enough minutes. It wasn't enough minutes. So we'll leave it there, man. Guys, that is going to be a wrap for this show. 2.5 hours in, you guys are still here per usual. We appreciate
Two and a
y'all's
half
support,
hours.
man.
What did we talk about?
Right. What didn't we talk about? Right. So now, guys, the series shifts back to Orlando for game 6. Yes, we have a game 6. Boss, quickly.
Yeah.
Any thoughts heading into game 6 of this
Well,
series?
first of all, I saw someone ask too, guys. The time is to be determined. It says 1 p.m. on any 2BDs. It's not going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
I promise you. There's no way. I would have to call off of work. That'd be terrible. But so I don't know what time it's gonna be at. Probably 7 again, 7:30 Eastern. But going into game 6 again, there's a lot of things I liked about this game. We didn't give it up. We kept the lead. Cade looked. A lot of people looked more in rhythm. But we can't keep it close because one of these days, those threes that they keep making at the end of games are going to continue to bite us in the butt. So we have to do something. And for me, honestly, it was the lineup at the 4th that let them get back into it. So my adjustment, if JB makes one minor adjustment, it's like, don't put in 4 offensive players when we need stops. But otherwise, I do hope that there's a little surprise. I would love some tricks up the sleeve, like a 2 big lineup, like a Paul Reed minutes, like Ron Holland minutes, like Sasser minutes, something. Surprise us. Come up with something. Throw them off because it's an away game. We didn't win. They've won in Detroit. We have not won in Orlando.
Right.
So that's just another factor that we got to keep in mind. And they're going to come out with other game plans. I think they're going to keep their Banchero attacking people because Banchero got 45 freaking points tonight. So why would they take that
shots,
away?
by the way. Cade got on 23. But
it's going to go back to slowing down Cade. They might ask Wendell to lock in a little bit more on JD again.
Right. So let's slow down their best guy.
Yep. Yeah.
How do we do that?
So,
y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Chris says, Mr. We still in it. And did you see my main man Cade with 45, coach? I like it, Chris. I was waiting on you, bro. Came a little late, but I'm glad you still popped it up. I agree, boss. I feel like whoever wins game 6 wins the series. Obviously, if the Magic win, they win the series. But if they lose game 6, boss, on their home court, they're not winning game 7 back at LCA. The Pistons have worked too hard all year to be in this position right here, right now, to force a game 7 at the crib, right? So they're not going to let the season go at home down the drain in game 7. The Pistons are not, I can nearly guarantee you that's not going to happen. So for me, with the momentum that they would have heading into a decisive game 7, if they can get there, they would have won 2 straight. We won 2 straight for the first time. Well, no, we haven't. We would have won 2 straight for the first time in the series if we win the next game. We haven't won 2 straight games in the series yet, right? So that will put all the pressure back on Orlando, right? If we can get game 6, if we can get back here to game 7, that's a lot of pressure on Orlando. They'd also be in danger of potentially again as the 8 seed blowing a 3-1 lead again to the 1 seeded Pistons for the second time, right? So with all that being said, I think the Pistons go into a hostile environment in Orlando because it's going to be hostile. And, I think they get it done. I think Orlando's last home game of the series They're going to be very desperate. Maybe the last home game for their season. And so it's going to be tough. The Pistons have to play their best game of the series next game.
We got to start off strong. It seems like whoever gets the lead early maintains. And I know we were lucky in this, not lucky, but we worked hard. We started off strong second half in game 2 to get that lead and keep it. But we got to start off strong. And the Magic are going to, get you said, they're going to be desperate to close. They're going to want to close at home. I don't think that they come out as lackadaisical as they did this game. So we got to match their offensive production. We got to lock down defense. It's going to be tough. I'm excited to be back here with you guys. Yeah. So
it's going to
require also completely devastatingly nervous about it.
It's going to require a 48-minute game, something the Pistons haven't done yet. They haven't given us a 48-minute game, a complete game from beginning to end of Pistons basketball. We haven't got it yet. So that's what it's going to take. So I think the Pistons will get it done, boss. Yes, we need match intensity in game 6.
Even though today wasn't the win I wanted in terms of how we won, it didn't make me feel like it still felt good. I wasn't as anxious in this. The end of the fourth drove me a little crazy, but I didn't feel worried as much as I had in previous games.
Because of the flow.
Of the way they were playing. It looked more like our basketball was just a few tweaks. Which, by the way, real quick, what did the poll say? What did they end up on?
Oh, as far as the reason for or what needs to happen for next game?
Yeah.
So 54% said. What do you think? What do you think the chat
rotations? 54%.
So turnovers, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, rotations is second at 32.
Then 56% said rotations.
Right, 32% said rotations. 9% said other. 5% said free throws. So, yeah, but yeah, like I said, boss, I think the Pistons, they gut it out. And I think they get it done. I think they play their best game of the series next game. Then I think they come back here, game 7 behind the Detroit crowd. If you guys have experienced a game 7 in Detroit or, for the Pistons, that environment, I think they dropped the hammer in game 7 like they did when they beat this team last time. They won. So that's how I have this going. I have the Pistons getting a tough one in game 6, best game of the series, come home and get the job done. But it all starts Friday night, boss.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
You have the numbers up, I hope still. How many points off of turnovers did the Magic have?
Let me see if I can pull it up. They had 22
off of turnovers?
Yep. We had 19.
Okay. I mean, that's still nice, but I know we had more. Did we have more turnovers than them?
One. We had 17, they had 16. Okay. So it was pretty even.
But still, 20 plus points on for turnovers has been the freaking theme. No more.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Best game of the series has to be next game.
Yes.
It has to be next game. They got to be ready to take that haymaker that's coming, especially early from Orlando. So I think they're up for the challenge. Yeah. And I think they'll prove why they've been the number 1 seed all year is their resilience. Just like 23 years ago when they did it, when they came back from down 3-1 to Orlando back then, they took game 6 and they finished the job at home at LCA in game 7, and they move on to the second round. That's where I'm at. So, boss, we'll see how it plays out, man. Anything else on that, boss?
Nope, that's it. I'm again excited to be here. I'm gonna be nervous and sick for 2 days, but I'm pumped.
Yeah, so we will definitely be back, guys, for our live watch party on Friday. Whenever the game starts, we'll set it up for 10 minutes before. So make sure y'all are plugged in, alerts turned on for that. Looking forward to it. And of course, we'll be right back here post game after the live watch party. So we appreciate you guys for showing up, man, showing out as you guys always do. Appreciate all the love you guys showed, man. You guys are incredible. Really appreciate all of you guys for being here and showing support, man. So make sure you guys smash that like button and subscribe if you are new. And we hope you guys have a great night. And y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. See y'all Friday.
Rewind 2021. There was a parade in my city. Number 1 pick, dancing in the street. Everybody was hitting the gritty. Cade arrived in the D, and it was live as can be. They can ball, but we didn't want Green, Mobley, or Scotty B. No when he got hurt, everyone lost it. Storylines leaking, no faucet. Caught him wash when he broke his tibia. All the haters, time to get it really, Everybody wanna be Skip Bayless. Wanna throw shade, okay, say less. Dudes went #1 for a reason. It'll click by the end of the season. When he wins most improved player. Gonna be a movie, here's the trailer. Don't say I didn't try to warn ya. Co-signed by Win Benyama.
Cade Cunningham.
He was raised a Texan, but now he's Detroit flexing. Team USA, he was killing them. Got him effed up, let me quote Eminem. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade. Nowadays, everybody wanna talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. That's a bunch of gibberish and money lovers act like they forgot about Cade. Forgot about Cade, they forgot about Cade. Forgot about how you forget about Cade.